Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very
much. Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another edition of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. Of course, I am your host, Manager Marty, and we are live in living color. I am so grateful to be here today with each and every last one of you. Thank you for investing your time, and I welcome you. If you are watching a replay of this live, I welcome you as well. If you are acknowledging me in the chat, I welcome you and I appreciate you as well. All of the Roll the Tape film crew members and the supervisors of the Roll the Tape film crew members, we are here now. We are here. And according to someone who is a day one supporter of this channel, I salute him. He said that Cat Williams and Manager Marty are two truth speakers. He also said that 2024 is the year when the chickens are coming home to roost, and Cat Williams and Manager Marty are leading the way. I appreciate that from you, Keggy. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. We're live and live in color, and we have some boxing to talk about. We have some business of boxing to talk about, and I'm so excited to be here. And we just tapping in, man. We just tapping in. That's all we're doing. We got to start our show off the right way, of course. We have to start it off. And man, oh man, what a weekend. Last week was on fire, but what a weekend. I mean, so much has gone on thus far to open up the year of 2024 here on this podcast. And I'm so excited about it. We got to start with our Town Watch check-in. Y'all know what y'all came here for. We have some business to attend to. We're going to talk about, Errol Spence Jr. and the fact that he has undergone surgery for a cataract that's of course obviously that he's said on a post that he's been dealing with. He said it was long overdue, this surgery. I don't know if this was an injury that he sustained in the fight with Terrence Crawford, or if this was something that he was dealing with before the fight. All we do know that I know of as of right now is that he has undergone surgery, and that may jeopardize the fight with Terrence Crawford, the rematch. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. I would love to get a great panel on to see whether or not we can have a dialogue of whether the fight is even going to take place. Should Errol Spence retire? Should he heal up and still basically honor the rematch clause? What should he do? Is this an excuse? Is this an excuse? And I know that that's been reported by some people as of now, that this is just an excuse that Errol Spence Jr. is just basically bringing up now so that he could get out of and back out of the rematch with Terrence Crawford. We got to deal with it all. And we are going to deal with it live and live in color right here. But first, we have to do our Town Watch check-in. It is the way that we do icebreakers here. This is how we start the show off, and I try to be as consistent as possible. We start the show off with our Town Watch check-in. Let me inform those of you who are new to the channel, who may be watching the replay of the live and don't know what the Town Watch check-in is. I am going to briefly describe it, and then we're going to move right along with the show. The Town Watch check-in is only unique to this podcast, this channel, and it's an icebreaker. And the reason why I do the icebreaker is so that we all can understand that even though we have different opinions, even though we have different perspectives, even though we have different points of views, just like we have different geographical locations that we represent, we can still, at the end of the show, acknowledge this, whether it be publicly and or rhetorically, that we share one thing in common, and that is our love for the sport of boxing. And that's what this thing is all about. And so what we do here is we acknowledge in the chat. And if you're watching the replay of this live, you can also participate in this process by commenting in the comment section below, and I will acknowledge publicly your location as well. But right now, live and live in color, we have the chat here. Insert your geographical location in the chat. I'm going to publicly acknowledge it in exchange. I'm going to go first to start it off, as every good leader does. And then you all will then tell me where you are from, whether it be any city, any state, any island, and or any country. And you all can do so right here, right now. You ready? And also, I want to say this too. This portion of the podcast allows the air fryer to warm up, because you know that's what we do here. The air fryer increases just as the viewership. You know what I'm talking about? So let's get it popping. Let's start the show off the right way, as we always do. I'm going to start it off first. I'm representing the DFW area. Texas, stand up. Arlington, to be exact. Mansfield section of Arlington, Tarrant County, we in the building. But I can't just say that and leave my hometown out, because I am doing all of the representing by way of my hometown, the city where I was born and raised, and that is the great city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And I'm not talking about the Philadelphia that's in Mississippi. I'm talking about the Philadelphia that's in Pennsylvania. So we're going to stand up. We in the building. Now we got to do our Town Watch check-in. Who else we got in the building? Come on, y'all. Big Texas is in the building. I see you. Mr. Know-It-All Rants. Haven't seen you in a while, my brother. Good to see you. Another welcome to a supervisor and member of the Roll the Tape family, and that is my guy, Jeremy Austin. Double salute to him in the chat, representing Wichita, Kansas. He's also in the building. Who else we got in here? Woo, the Chop Shop is here, representing Cincinnati all day, every day. Let's stay on the East Coast. We got Baltimore in the house. We still over here on the East Coast. We ain't going nowhere, because Ohio is in the building. Come on, y'all, let's check on in. Let's check on in. Let's check on in. Who else we got in here? Let's check in. Let's check in. Come on and let's check in. Don't wait. We don't have Cedar Hill in the building. I see you. Who else we got in here? Yeah, they brought the preacher out today, y'all. Yeah, the prosecutor been doing overtime all last week. Yeah, the preacher here today. Yes, indeed. D.C. is in the house. Yeah, I see Washington, D.C. The DMV area is in the building. Who else we got in here, y'all? As the viewership is increasing exponentially. Not dare I see you. Newark, New Jersey just stepped on in the building. Come on, y'all. Let's check on in. Yeah, we're going to do this thing right. Yeah, we're going to do it right. Yeah. Yeah, come on and tap on in, Mr. Rance. Yeah, come on and tap in. Yeah. Tap in. You know we heavy in Philly. Come on and tap in. Huh? Who else we got in here? Let's check on in. Come on, man. Y'all know Smooth Criminal just walked in. That's why Baltimore is up in this piece. Woo! 619 just jumped in from the West Coast all the way in California. San Diego is in the building. Listen, we got the West, we got the East, we got the dirty South, but I need the Midwest to come on, step on through. Come on, y'all, let's check on in. The air fryer is warming up. I know what you came here for. And because I love you, and because you support me, I give you everything you asked for. Huh? When y'all asked for the prosecutor last week, didn't I give him to you? Metro Atlanta, my guy, another strong one-day supporter from day one. My good friend, all the way from the Metro Atlanta area. Mr. Pragmatic is here, a supervisor of the Roll to Take film crew. I see you. Hot Springs, Arkansas is in the building. Brad Fox, I see you. Come on and let's check. Oh, we gonna have a good show now. We gonna have a good show up in here. The preacher is here today. Oh, yes, he is. Come on and let's check on in. We ain't gonna hold you too long. Yeah. BX or B Next, Bronx, Boogie Down, Bronx, New York is in the building. My guy, Many Face, just walked in. Huh? Listen now, there's some people that's here right now. They don't want to check in. They want to stand halfway in the door. See, on the East Coast, it's cold out here. So if you stand halfway in the door, if you leave the door open and stand halfway, what you're going to do is let the heat out. So what you got to do is come all the way on in or step all the way out. You got to make a decision. Now, I recommend that you step in, have a seat, shut the door behind you, get the heat flowing up in here, because the air fryer warming up, because we got a show to do. Come on in. Who else we got up in here? We ain't going to hold you too long. Who else we got in here? Let's check on in. Let's check on in. The preacher's here today. Yeah, you know I got 4 different characters that I simultaneously use. Huh? It's off entertainment. We still talk boxing. The prosecutor, the promoter, the professor, and today, the preacher. He is here. Marty Raw is in the building. Yeah, he here. Yeah, that's his old name. Manager Marty Luther King is his new name. Fort Lauderdale, Florida is in the building. I'm doing great, Marlo. What's going on with you? Huh? Yeah, Big Money just walked in. Where you from, Big Money? Talk to me. Yeah, we checking right on in. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we ain't gonna take long. Can I get one more check-in real quick before we move on? One more check-in before we move on. Yeah. Ooh, we're gonna have a good show today. The chat is on fire right now. I know we're gonna have a good show today. Harlem on the rise. Harlem World in the building. Harlem, New York. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes. Come on in. Let's check on in. Let's check on in. Yes, indeed. Can I get one more check-in? Yes. Yes. Come on, y'all. Let's check in. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes. Who else we got in here? Philly is in the building. I see you. Can I get one more? Woo, didn't I tell you we was going to get one more? Fayetteville, North Carolina just stepped right on in the building. Hey, Pop with the drop. Where you from? Salute to you. Where you from? Drop your location, man. We're checking on in right now. Yeah. Come on in. Yeah. Hey, L, you didn't learn from the last couple times? Last week? I don't let nobody dictate the terms of this show. Huh? You didn't learn that from last week? Austin, Texas is in the building. I see you. Yeah, we about to get the show popping, but I can't start this show unless we talk about how Gary, Indiana just walked in the building. Huh? Ooh, Beaumont, Texas is here. Man, we got all the heavy hitters in the chat. We can't start this show until we find out who's all here. Got to check on in. The air fryer is warming all the way up because the preacher just stepped in. St. Louis! Ooh! I got to come down and visit St. Louis. St. Louis is in the building. Yes. Let's get this show started, man. You know we can't get the... Is any ladies here? Before I get the show started, I got to make sure we cool. Hold up. Is any women in the chat? Is there any woman watching live in living color? They say somebody from Omaha. No, Omaha is here. Salute to Omaha, Nebraska. Palm Beach, Florida just walked in. Huh? Is there any woman in the chat? You know, I got to do my customary PSA and invitation to all the ladies out there. But if they're not here yet, we'll wait till they get here. We're going to start the show, but we will wait till they get here now. Oh, yes. We'll wait till they get here. Yes. Get the show on the road. Y'all know what I do. Listen. Can't speak for nobody else. All I know is I'm responsible to show face when I come on here. The preacher is here. You know, the preachers always had that little cloth. You know, the preachers take their glasses off and start doing like this and just, what y'all know about that right there when they do this? When the preacher do that, what y'all know about that there? Huh? Everybody thought this was a chef coat. Somebody told me this was a chef jacket. No, this is the clergy robe preacher here now. Oh, yes. Preacher all up in here today. I ain't even sweating. I just do this because I see the preachers do it. Yes. Woo-wee. We got Mr. Pragmatic here. We're going to have a great show. Absolutely. All right. I got my brother DK on. Let me let the brother on. He play. He know what this about. Hold on. DK, what's going on, brother?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. About time y'all see my face. Now listen, I'm here now, okay, people? All right? I'm the man behind all this shit, B. This
Yo,
thing
watch
don't
your
know
mouth, brother, the preacher. You took curses for the preacher,
I
brother.
apologize.
You didn't know.
My bad. My bad, brother. Well, let me let the light in, brother. All right, brother. He's here, brother. No, brother, listen, I had to use this phone here, brother, because I said I had to get on here. I'm on here now.
What you think about the jacket real quick, DK? You like it?
Oh, hey, listen, brother. You look like one of them Shaolin masters, brother. Like you do martial arts, brother. You know what I mean? You did your squats, brother. You did your squats. You came back, brother. You got 8% body fat like Bruce Lee, brother. You look good, brother.
Thank you, brother. What's going on, brother? You all right?
Brother, I'm on TV, brother.
Yes, you are. This is what you wanted to do. You wanted to come on TV, didn't you?
Brother, listen, brother. I'm like Sam
You
Rothstein,
could have
brother.
took the food and beverage job.
No, I couldn't, brother. I need a platform, brother. I need a platform so I can, I got the big spot.
So you can fight back?
Yeah, brother, listen, brother. There's a lot of dirt that's been on my name, brother. A lot of dirt, brother. A lot of dirt. But listen, bro.
Come on, I got to get the show ready, man. The people
I know you do, brother. I love you, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all see my face, y'all gonna see me with this man a lot, you know what I mean? Because we like peanut butter and jelly. But listen, bro, go do your thing, bro. And holler at me when you get done your segment, all right?
I will do, my brother. Thanks for coming on.
No doubt, bro. Thank you.
That's my main man, Pots and Pan, Mr. DK, close friend of mine. Indianapolis just walked in the building. I see you. Freaky Frisco, Texas just walked in. Woo! Salute. All right, now listen now. The preacher's here. Before we get on with the show, I've been thinking about this all day. Before we talk about Errol Spence Jr., the eye surgery, we got to talk about that now. People are saying it's just an excuse, a downright excuse for him to get out of the rematch with Terrence Crawford. So we got to talk about that. We also have to talk about what's going on with Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. We got to talk about all of that. Floyd Mayweather had Ryan Garcia walking around with him in Vegas all through the casino. We have to talk about that because we were under the impression that Ryan Garcia was going to fight Devin Haney. I mean, just last week, Oscar De La Hoya, he did an interview, and what did he say? He said that Ryan Garcia personally told him to go try to secure the fight with Devin Haney, and then all of a sudden, he's talking about Rolly Romero. So we got to talk about it. Did he duck Devin Haney? We got to talk about it today. But before we talk about that, I have a question. The preacher is here today. And I had a question. And I want everybody in the chat to participate in this answer. Okay? Now, it's still related to boxing. It's related to the podcast. It's related to it all. It's going to tie in. Now, I have a question. It looks like from what I can see in the chat, there's a large demographic of men that are in here today. So that's great. And we want women to participate as well. But I have to ask this question. And I want everybody to be logical and be honest and give your fair assessment. Now, I'm going to paint a very brief scenario for you. And I want to hear your response. I'm going to tie it all into boxing in just a second. Now, man and woman, husband and wife, they're pulling up in the gas station, right? They pull up into this gas station. They get to the pump. There's a motorist who's pulling up behind them, right, at the pump that is behind the pump that the husband and wife are going to use for their vehicle. The husband gets out of the car at the first pump, and he's walking towards the entrance of the gas station to make payment, right? There's a woman who's the second motorist in the vehicle behind the husband and wife's vehicle. And she looked like she's probably in her 70s. This husband is probably somewhere, let's say 40. So let's round it off. The husband is 40 years old in the first car, right? And the woman who's in the car behind him, who he doesn't know this woman, she's a complete stranger. Let's say she's about 70 years old. Now, the husband walking to the front entrance of the gas station to go in and pay for his fuel. The 70-year-old woman, she's walking in the same direction, which is the entrance of the gas station to pay for her fuel, and they both catch each other's eye. 70-year-old woman says to the young man, she says, "Good morning." The younger husband, he says, not knowing the woman, he says, "Good morning," to her back. And that's it. That's the only dialogue that they had. They go inside the gas station entrance, which is a convenience store, by the way. They both pay for their fuel. Husband goes to his vehicle. His wife is in the passenger seat, okay? He goes to pump his gas. He gets in the vehicle when it's over, and he pulls off. 70-year-old woman, she's still in the convenience store, part of the gas station. We don't know what happened to her. Husband gets in his vehicle, tank on full. Wife turns around to the husband while they're driving and traveling, and she says, "Husband, what did that woman say to you?" And the husband says, "She just said, 'Good morning.'" And the wife, she got offended. The wife says, "Oh, you said good morning because you really was trying to send her a message. that you wanted to take her out on a date later on, and that was your way of saying that you wanted her phone number to contact her later. And the husband, he turns to the wife and he says, that's not true. Where's all of this coming from? And then the wife began to yell at the husband and they get into a dispute. And that's the end of the story. Dispute, verbal dispute. This is a hypothetical story for all of the newcomers that just came in. Now, this is not a true story. I haven't seen this story anywhere else, but I'm making a reference for a reason. Now that you've heard the story, I have a question for everyone in the chat right now. This is live and living color. Is this a yes or a no? I just had a question. You can type the letter Y in the chat for yes. Type the letter N in the chat to indicate no. Was the wife in this scenario wrong based on how she reacted to her husband? Yes or no? Can somebody hear me in the chat? Yes or no? The preacher is here now. I gave you the prosecutor last week when we had Victor Conti here. But today, I'm the preacher. So I had a question. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses. Can I get some more responses, please? I got 5. Listen, if the wife wasn't wrong, she wasn't wrong. I'm just asking your opinion. If she was wrong, just say yes. If she wasn't, just say no. This is very simple. We ain't going to hold this too long. Just yes or no. Just yes or no. That's all. That's it. Let me see how many yeses or nos we got. Oh, wow. We got a lot of yeses. Okay. All right. Salute. Asante L in the building. Andre Noble, I see you. Okay, so that wife was wrong. She was wrong for that. Let me tell you why she was wrong. Because she assumed. She assumed that this husband was trying to send a cryptic message, that this husband was trying to insinuate. This husband was just trying to infer, all because he said the words good morning. All he did was react to the words that the older lady said to him first. And all he said was good morning. The wife was wrong in that scenario because she did not hold the husband accountable for the words that he said. She held him accountable for words that he did not say. And it was based on her own assumptions, regardless of what her issue was. She was wrong. Now, let me tell you where the husband was right at. The husband was right because he didn't try to convince his wife. He did not try to give her certain reassurances based on her own assumptions when she was wrong. She created an unhealthy environment based on her reaction. And that's why he just left it at good morning. Now, somebody might ask, Manager Martin Luther King, what does that have to do with the Roll the Tape podcast? What does this have to do with the audience? What does this have to do with the Roll the Tape film crew members? What does this have to do with any of this? Because if you said yes, that the wife was wrong, then you agree with me about the other people that are wrong. Let me give you an example. We have people who have been assuming since I've been on YouTube from last year to now. But more recently, they've been assuming the words of Manager Martin Luther King. In other words, they've been holding me accountable for words that I did not publicly say. You've never heard me publicly say that Terrence Crawford was on illegal PEDs, but I'm being held accountable for it. You did hear me say that the SNAC program works and that the performance that he displayed in the last 3 fights was enhanced. You did not hear me say that Devin Haney or Caleb Plant or Demetrius Andrade or any other fighter on the SNAC program. You didn't hear me publicly say they're on PEDs and they're doing something illegal, did you? But I'm being held accountable, Band Up, for words that I did not say. But you did hear me say the SNAC program works. And in their performances, you've seen it be enhanced. You have never heard me say that Terrence Bud Crawford is a bad, nasty, evil fighter that can't fight. But you did hear me say he was a great fighter. You did hear me say that he was already winning and undefeated as a world champion before he got with the SNAC program. You did hear me say that. You didn't hear me say that I don't like Terrence Bud Crawford. But I'm being held accountable for words that I did not say. But you did hear me say, I like Terrence Crawford, and I sympathize with him based on his upbringing. You didn't hear me say that Victor Conti is cheating. You didn't publicly hear me say that, but I'm being held accountable for words I did not say. But you did hear me say I was suspicious. You did not hear me say that Terrence Crawford did something so bad that it was his fault that Errol Spence came in the fight and wasn't 100%. So people say I'm making an excuse because Errol Spence lost. But I'm being held accountable for words I did not say. But you did hear me say that just because Errol Spence was not 100% does not mean that it's Terrence Crawford's fault. So just like that wife who was holding that husband accountable for words he did not say based on her own assumption, I'm going to respond just like the husband did. It is not my responsibility to reassure anybody who's holding me accountable for words I did not say based on their assumptions. That's not my responsibility to reassure you of what I'm trying to say or convince you or prove to you what I'm really trying to imply. That's not my responsibility. Hey, let me explain something to you. I was dating this woman, and she probably watching right now. Let the preacher do this, because we all got to pass. Let the preacher do this right here. Yeah. And she used to assume so many things. She used to come up with all these different theories on why I said this and why I said that. She used to always assume. And you know what I used to tell her? I used to tell her innocent people don't want to go to jail. Not even guilty people want to go to jail. If a guilty person was committing a crime and law enforcement was on the scene, that guilty person would flee law enforcement. Guilty people don't even want to go to jail, let alone innocent people. In other words, why am I being put in prison based on your attitude and reaction for a crime I didn't commit? The crime was whatever you assumed in your head based on your theory and your own personal issues. Ooh. Innocent people don't want to go to jail. I'm innocent. Those are just your theories and your assumptions that based on your issues and struggles. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So it's not my responsibility to reassure you that whatever you thinking about me in a negative way, to prove to you that that's not me. That ain't my job. My job is to just be who I am and maintain integrity and have patience and show love irregardless of how people react to me. I got a guy in the chat right now who has done multiple videos on me. He's in the chat looking at me now, calling me Pastor Fluff. But the bottom line is you still over here, Captain 4G. It ain't my job to try to prove to you, Caps and 4G, that I'm really who I say I am. It's not my job to convince you whether or not I'm a real manager. It's not my job to convince you whether or not I believe Crawford is this and I don't like Crawford. That ain't my job. It's not my responsibility. Whatever your assumptions are, that's on you. I know what you're here for. You ain't here to participate in the chat. You're not here. You here to steal content from me like you always do. And because of that, I got to ban you and delete your comment. I just banned him and deleted his comment. I told you the preacher is here. See, if y'all think the prosecutor is harder than the preacher, there's something wrong with that. Oh, you're acting soft as the prosecutor when Victor Conti's here. No, I'm acting like a prosecutor. The preacher is always harder than the prosecutor. That's all I'm saying. We don't need Caps 4G over here trying to discredit me and act like he cool and give me a $5 super chat only to turn around, like he did the $5 super chat he gave me and say great interview, and then turn around, steal my content, use it against me to diss me on his channel. Get out of my chat. You are not welcome here, you thief and liar. Been lying on me. 8, 9 videos down the road, you still lying. Then gonna come in here in my chat. You banned and your comments are not necessary. I ain't mad at you because you hating on me. I love it when you hate on me. But all I'm saying is at some point, if you don't like something, stop eating it. I don't like Brussels sprouts, so I don't eat it. If you don't like Manager Marty, what you coming over here stealing my content for? That's all I'm saying. If you don't like the message that I'm saying, if you don't like the food that I present and the bread that I give to the people, then stop coming over here chewing off of the plate. Beat it. This channel is for the real ones. The preacher is here today. Y'all heard what Victor Conti said. He said, I'm a new fan of yours. He said, you are articulate, you ask good questions, and you're very smart. If Victor Conti didn't respect the movement over here, he wouldn't have came here. Whether somebody told him to come here or not, he still came here, and he didn't come here once. He came here twice. All the people hating, talking about, he went on Coach Malaka's channel first. And you ain't seen nobody do no reaction videos from his phone conversation with him. Oh, okay then. He didn't ask the questions I asked, did he? Listen, I'm not here to compete. I'm here to complete. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I ain't mad. I'm just saying the preacher's here today. That's all it is. Yeah. That's all. Hey, listen, we deal with real over here. Yeah. I asked y'all in the chat when Victor was here, who y'all want? What character? And everybody told me the prosecutor. I had my suit on and I gave y'all the prosecutor. Huh? I gave y'all the evidence that y'all was looking for. I asked the questions that some people would have never even thought of. Victor Conti gave the answers and he was the professor. It's all good, but the preacher is here today. Content creators hating on me, ain't got no creativity, don't do nothing but sit on the phone and just be talking. Reading articles from Chris Williams, Chris Mannix, Mike Coppinger, all these other editors and journalists, Dan Raphael, they read articles from them and then they get on the phone or a camera and start giving their opinions. I told Blue Blood to his face and I told y'all before. They talk about reactions. I talk about transactions. It's the difference when we do this YouTube thing. Captain Vorchi, he do reactions. He doing reactions to boxers. I do transactions with boxers. It's the difference. Preacher here today. That's all I'm saying, y'all. We respect Victor for pulling up, but all I'm saying is if you're going to pull up with truth. Pull up with truth. Because if you don't, we're going to pull it out of you. We don't do no lying over here. Yeah. We don't do no lying over here. We don't do no gaslighting over here. We don't do no projection over here. We don't do no reverse psychology over here. We don't do no mental manipulation over here. I overcame all that trauma in my life. That's why when Terrence Ball Crawford fans come here, Victor Conti, and whoever else come here and do it, what I do? I shut them down. My content speaks for itself. I'm not mad. All I'm saying is when you come over here, come correct. That's all I'm saying. Just come correct. That's all. We're going to have fun, but just come correct. That's all. Hey, that's all I'm saying. The SNAC program works. We already know this. It works. How you gonna get mad at me for saying something that the whole world even know? Holding me accountable for words I didn't say. Oh, but you're saying an undertone and you're saying insinuations. So what? So what? Hold me accountable for the words I say and what I do. That's all I'm asking for, because that's what we all want. It's a lot of men in here right now dealing with women or dealing with a wife or a girlfriend or a significant other. And let her or him come to you and say, yo, I heard you did such and such, and you didn't even do it. You're going to try to be vindicated. It's just a natural inclination, natural response. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, well, the difference between me and Benny Hinn, Fly High, is Benny Hinn is a liar. Benny Hinn trying to sell you his latest book. I ain't trying to sell you on nothing. That's the difference. I've been telling you the truth from day one. Huh? They say a hit dog, what they say, a hit dog or holler. That's the slogan that they say. Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I just wanted to give that PSA real quick before we get the show started. I've already got your commitment that the wife in that analogy that I gave, she's wrong. She got to hold the husband accountable for the things he say, not for the things she assumed he is saying. Hold me accountable for what you heard me say. Don't go assuming. Oh, you saying this about Bud, you saying that. What difference do it make? Don't make no difference what you assume. Hold me accountable for what you heard me say. That's all I'm saying. Just, hey, guess what? No innocent person want to go to jail. Let the cops bang on your door right now and tell you they got a witness that said you robbed the bank at 12 o'clock p.m. and you know you was at work. You're going to try to tell the police, that wasn't me. But it ain't your job to prove to the police that it wasn't you. The burden of proof is on the one alleging. The burden of proof is on the one that come with the allegations. The burden of proof is on law enforcement, right or wrong. So the burden of proof is on those that's assuming that I'm saying A, B, C, and D. Hold me accountable for the words that I say, not for the words that you assume that I say. Hey, band up. I don't have no control whether or not Spence fans jump on my channel or not. It don't make a difference. All I know is there's a reason why he lost. In fact, there's about 3 or 4 of them, and he got something to do, and Errol Spence got something to do with that. That's all I'm saying. But the other parts that I've been saying is the SNAC program works. Now, I know Victor Conti's watching. I know that the last time he was here, he told us in an interview that it wasn't the SNAC program that helped Terrence Crawford win. That's what he said. But in the first interview, when I told him the SNAC program works, he agreed with me and said it's science, and science proves it. That's all I'm saying. Hold me accountable for what I say. Don't hold me accountable for words I don't say. That's all I'm saying, Mr. Band Up. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. It don't matter what the reason of why the wife did it. The fact that she assumed in that instance that that husband was saying good morning by responding to words that a woman said to him first. These are words that were said to me first. And all I did was respond, and I'm getting held accountable for words I didn't say. Innocent people don't want to go to jail, let alone guilty people. That's all I'm saying. As the viewership is increasing exponentially. That's all I'm saying. Hey, L, we can talk about boxing, but you saying farty in the chat. That is not my name. Told you I'm the preacher today. Accountability for men. Don't come over here with that. You want to call me farty? Go back on the guy's channel where you got that from. I didn't disrespect you and insult you. Don't disrespect and insult me in the chat. Yeah, now if I was Manager Marty, I wouldn't have said nothing. But the preacher's here today. Not today. Yeah. That's the name that what's his name? Coach Malachi? That's him giving grown men pet names. That's him. You gotta go on his channel and do that. Yeah, we deal with manhood over here. We don't do female stuff over here, bro. That's all I'm saying. I didn't disrespect. Let's come on now. I'm trying to, hey, it ain't nothing personal. I'm trying to enhance my channel. Performance enhancement. Do they got a performance enhancement for YouTube? Do they got that? Somebody delivered a package in the mail for me to enhance the program. That's all I'm saying. Preacher here today. Yeah. Because guess what? The same guy that gave me the pet name, I called him on the phone while he was live, and he told me he wouldn't come over here. How you backing up a man who's scared to come and present me in person over here on his YouTube? He's scared to come over here, but you're repeating the word that he gave you for me. Come on now, what would they do that at, man? All these guys that talk crazy about me, when the link be in the chat, they don't come over here and do that. At least I got to give the guy 4 Caps G, whatever his name is, I got to give that guy credit. At least he came up here. He did a disc record on me, and at least he came up. He won't be able to come up here again, still in my content. But I'm just saying, at least he came up. That's all. At least the guy came up. I got to respect the guy for that. But as for the other guys, they don't want to click the link and come on up here and deal with boxing talk because they know they can't do it with me. So they resort to insults and discrediting me and calling me names like we in high school and kindergarten. You repeating the name that he gave, but he won't even come up here. And I'm not accusing the man. He told me when I called him on the phone, yo, come on the platform. Since you want to call me all that, let's have a boxing talk right over here. I ain't coming on your stuff. I don't F with you. You ain't got F with me to come over here. It don't make a difference. Come on over. You getting real slick when I ain't around. Come on over. Because guess what? Nobody can say that I'm acting different. You want to know why? Because everything I said about the SNAC program, Terrence Crawford, Victor Conti, and whoever else. When Victor Conti was here, I said everything I said when the man wasn't here. That's one of the reasons why Victor respect me. Yeah, he wasn't here and I was saying it. He came over here and I said everything I wanted to say. I asked him all the questions. That's right. Because when you're being honorable, that's what you're supposed to do. Now that I got that out the way, let's get into this boxing talk. Now, first and foremost, I need to know that Ryan Garcia ducked Devin Haney. That's what I need to know. Because ain't nothing wrong with hanging with Floyd Mayweather. Shoot, everybody should be wanting to hang around him and soak up his knowledge of the game. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. And that was no disrespect to anybody. I see somebody in the chat says something about something. We listen, it doesn't matter what your sexual preference or orientation is. Much respect goes to everybody. Okay? That's all. I just wanted to put that out there. No disrespect, nobody. I just want to know if Ryan Garcia ducked Devin Haney. Because the last time I checked, I heard Oscar De La Hoya last week say that Ryan Garcia told him to talk to the Haneys and what's their promoter name? Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn. Now this week, over the weekend, I'm hearing that Rolly is the one that Oscar De La Hoya was asked to go and negotiate with his team for him to fight Ryan Garcia. Man, I don't know if he did that because it's an easier fight. I don't know. I just want the chat to tell me. The link is still pinned to the top. Anybody want to come on up? Oh, somebody just said they was coming on up. Gregory Quarterbaum. He's here. Mr. Greg, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, you should have had Cat on here with you.
Who, Cat Williams?
Yeah.
Man, listen, Cat Williams, I don't know what was going on.
Nah, Cat was telling it like you do. The same thing. He telling it all. So, you know, I respect him for that. But about Ryan, I don't want to get too far away from it. Ryan got Floyd in his ear. Is what happens when you get a new advisor or somebody who's giving you some information or somebody's trying to guide you. They're going to pull you away from where you thought you was going and say, no, you're talking to me. We're going to go over here. That's what's going on. It's just a matter. And I think also with Floyd, it's just one more way of him twisting the knife and Oscar's way. I know Oscar is probably having some sleepless nights, mad, but that's what's been happening with all these promoters, particularly Oscar and Floyd. They've been having this back and forth, and now they're not in the ring anymore. They're outside of the ring, but they still outmaneuvering, messing with each other's head. Now he got Oscar's biggest star for the moment listening to him as opposed to listening to Oscar. So you know that got to be driving Oscar crazy. And sooner or later, when that contract is up, you know what more likely is going to happen. He's going to be with Floyd because we already seen him with Floyd now, and that's a high profile look. So I don't think he was necessarily ducking Devin. I just think it was manipulation, some business moves. Let's move him over here so we can do what we want to do. I believe Ryan will make some money either way, but I think with Floyd is more than likely trying to get him to make as much money with less risk than he would if he was with Oscar. I mean, going in with with Devin was a higher risk fight regardless. Rolly, yes, he got punching power and he's unorthodox and so forth and so on, but I think that's an easier fight in many ways, and that's what's going to basically be happening with Ryan as long as he's with Oscar. As long as he's with Floyd, because I think Floyd is going to keep on trying to do things and make so he can get money. So that wasn't really, to me, it wasn't a duck.
Got you. Well, the crazy thing about it is, Mr. Greg, and people watching me live and live in color, some of you have heard me say to Ryan Garcia, especially, and I published a video on this, when Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya left Ryan Garcia at the post-fight press conference by himself with Mr. Gomez when he lost in his first professional loss. And I told Ryan Garcia through a video I published right after that, get on the phone and call Al Heyman. See, if you can't trust the people that you're doing business with and they don't have your best interests at heart, you got to leave them alone and get on the phone and call Al.
That was the worst thing they could have done. That showed Ryan, and probably showed his family and his people as well. We with the wrong people. That at a time when you should show who you stand with, even though he had lost, that's when all of him and Bernard should have been on that stage. There shouldn't have been no, we had a little meeting over here. I felt afraid. All that's nonsense.
Yes, it was.
They hung him out to dry to as far as I'm concerned. So they planted the seeds their own selves for Ryan to start looking elsewhere.
And Ryan tried to look elsewhere, but of course they still have him under contract legally, and they did go to court. And I'm probably sure they may have arbitration, or there was a settlement made where Ryan Garcia had to honor his agreement, which is why he was back in the ring recently to fight. I don't know how many years left that he have on his contract or whatnot, but I do know that he was hanging around Floyd Mayweather. And with that being said, we know that Floyd Mayweather is an active promoter. So Oscar De La Hoya was in a recent interview over the weekend, and he was basically saying that there's some litigation that might come up under this, because he's basically saying it's a possibility that Floyd, being a promoter, is fraternizing, so to speak, with his client. And so, of course, he don't have any evidence that Floyd is doing anything unethical to talk to Ryan. They're just hanging out. But Floyd Mayweather is a businessman. And so, of course, he might be schooling Ryan. He might be saying, hey, get down with us, but not in an unethical way while you're still under contract with De La Hoya. I just don't see Floyd doing that.
He's just advising.
He's just talking to the young man.
Advising.
You know, he's just talking to him, and he's also obviously standing to benefit because you know PBC has the rights to Rolly Romero. So that makes a lot of sense. Al Heyman still manages Tank Davis. So there's two different ways. Don't forget, you still got other fighters over there that PBC have that Ryan Garcia can make some good money with. So it's like, hey, I'm just having a conversation with the man. We going to the mall and we just having fun. That's it. I'm not doing anything unethical to basically quote unquote steal your fighter. You know, so
it was just a matter of a few words. If Floyd had said, "Come sign with us," there might have been some problems. But he didn't do that. From what we can see, he just, "Hey, come sit down. Let me advise you." Then you can tell your promoter, "Don't do what I just asked you. Do this now." That's all it really was. So Oscar still has to go and talk to. Don't have to talk to Al. He probably don't want to do that either. He mad because Floyd behind his man. But that's how it goes. This is just how. This is not the first time these kind of things have happened in business. But I'll give Al Heyman credits what credit is due as well. Al was one of the very first in a major way that didn't try to be a promoter. He's an advisor. So that gives him, allows him to do many things. And now Floyd is following suit by doing the exact same thing. That's all.
Totally agree.
We can be mad about it, but that's how it is.
And here's the thing. Ryan Garcia, at the last fight that he had in the press conference before the fight, he's on record, and I can pull it up for some of you that don't remember hearing this. He's on record himself saying, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy wanted me to lose. They want me to lose this fight. They want me to lose this fight. This is what Ryan Garcia said.
Yes, I heard it.
They got this guy who's so-called power punching knockout artist to basically make me lose, and they want me to lose this fight. He talked about how Bernard Hopkins was being critical and being hypocritical. He talked about how Oscar De La Hoya did things as well. He basically put them both on blast. So for him to be with Floyd Mayweather, whether it is for the cameras, whether he is walking around acting like he buying stuff from the mall, the bottom line is this is a foreshadow of Ryan Garcia letting them know I'm ready to break ties with Golden Boy Promotions. And it's just business. It's not personal.
That's all it is. And it's their fault. Period. It's their fault.
And it is their fault. Band Up, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Band Up?
What's good with you, Marty? What's up, Greg? How you guys doing? You know, I'm feeling good. I got to stay in the good spirits, you know what I mean? Till my Huskies put that thing on them boys. Because I got a little wager going on with your boy, Greg from the AM podcast, Marty. And my boys win. Greg. Jason and Greg?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Greg gotta come in all Huskies if the Huskies win.
If the Huskies, who they playing?
They playing Michigan.
When they playing this weekend?
They play in about an hour and a half.
Oh, today.
Yeah, they play today. National championship today.
That's what's up. We going to see. That's going to be a good game, though.
Oh yeah, they both undefeated.
Yeah, they're going to be going back. I think they're going to go back and forth down the field. They both. I ain't gonna front though. I mean, that's the tough one. Michigan be balling though. You can't front, man. That's gonna be a good game.
Man, they ain't got nothing on my boys from the town. You know, I'm not giving them nothing today. It's all, you know. Are you the preacher today? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm one of you. I'm writing the people. You know what I mean? I'm probably the choir director. You dig? I'm getting everything in line for you.
You missed my sermon at the beginning of this, Band Up.
I know. I came in kind of late.
That's okay. That's why we do the replay. So when this thing go off, when you finish the game or all week, go ahead and spin the block and watch the sermon, brother.
I always end up watching the replays.
Yeah, yes, sir. All right, I had a question for you, Band Up, since we're talking about De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia. Did Ryan Garcia duck Devin Haney because he said he wanted to fight Devin Haney? He started chilling with Floyd Mayweather and his security detail over the weekend. They chilling, walking around, doing their thing. And all of a sudden now, he's telling Oscar De La Hoya that he want to fight Rolly Romero instead of Devin Haney. What's up with that?
He should have did that first before he even said anything about some Haney. All disrespect, everybody was giving him. They got to take it right back. That they got to eat their words because he knows. I don't care what nobody say, bro. Rolly is not a tougher fight than Devin. No, you're not gonna get me to say that. Nobody's gonna convince me of that. But I do remember people was mad when Terrence Crawford got advised to go elsewhere, you know what I mean, in the middle of his negotiations as well. You know what I mean?
Come
So
on, man. Don't
you know what I
that.
mean? We gotta keep the energy on that.
What talking about? Hold on. Biz on the beat, member of the channel. Salute to him. Wait, time out. You saying that Ryan Garcia is doing the same thing Bud Crawford did with BLK Prime? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it looked kind of similar to me. Look a little bit similar because you was there.
Give me an example.
And then, you know what I mean?
But
it's not similar. Hold up. It's not similar in the sense where somebody's already sent the contract. It's not similar in that sense.
But it
hasn't been built up.
All right, so you're saying that because Terrence Crawford said he was going to fight Errol Spence, then he went over to fight on BLK Prime. Ryan Garcia did the same thing by saying he wanted to fight Devin Haney, but now he's saying that he want to fight Rolly. I guess that's what I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Only thing the difference is like I said, there was no contract sent one way, and this hasn't been built up. So I think people should have the same energy all the way around if that's going to be the case. However you felt that way, left or right, you should go the same way this way, left or right.
Well, there's a significant difference, and I have to point this out. One of the differences in that scenario is that when you did say eliminate the contract part. I'm going to eliminate that part. The difference is that Ryan Garcia, he told his promoter he wanted to fight Devin Haney. And then Ryan Garcia told his promoter, his representation, now I want to fight Rolly. Terrence Crawford said he wanted to fight Spence, but he didn't tell nobody he wanted to fight David Ebenezer. He didn't tell Al Heyman. He just didn't tell nobody. That's one of the differences. He didn't say anything. We had no idea. I think that's the difference here.
Well, you got to also throw in, you also got to throw in, he actually didn't have any that we know of representation to tell that to tell Al Heyman.
Well, he said he was his own boss, so I figured he could just go ahead and.
I get what he's saying, but I'm just saying, he had nobody to tell.
Well, according to some Terrence Crawford fans that came on the panel, they said he always had his own representation, and I'm just insinuating and implying. So,
hey, I don't. He may have, he may not. But we didn't see that during that particular period because he was doing everything. He was calling out himself, et cetera, et cetera. So I have to surmise that there might have been somebody on the periphery, but he didn't bring him all the way in until after that David Ebenezer fight. I don't even know who negotiated that fight for Terrence, unless he did that by himself. And if he did, he did. But I think whatever the case may be, when they got it back together, there had to be another person who could sit down with Al, because Terrence didn't say he sat down with Al the second time.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I had a question for both of you guys and anybody else that want to join the panel and the chat. Should Devin Haney feel some type of way? Because to my understanding, negotiations didn't start between Golden Boy or Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn was on record a week and a half ago in his interview saying that after Joshua fight, he's going to reach out to Golden Boy on behalf of the Haneys to negotiate that. As of what we know now, they didn't negotiate just yet. So my question would be, does Devin Haney have a right to feel some type of way by the change? As far as first Ryan said, I want to fight Devin, and then he goes off and now he's talking about fighting Rolly. Should Devin Haney feel some type of way? Because remember, Shakur Stevenson, he jumped in the ring and told Devin Haney, I want to fight you next. And Devin Haney got out of the ring. He didn't even address Shakur Stevenson. And after that, he did say, we're going to send, Shakur Stevenson an offer and all that, but they wound up fighting Regis Prograis. So Devin Haney kind of did something similar, but should he feel some type of way, even though there was no negotiations that started?
Devin Haney got options. He got
No.
options.
Devin Haney did understands that fights that you might talk about, that you may talk up a little bit, don't always happen when you want them to. You had somebody who challenged him when you speak about Shakur, and that didn't happen. It's not going to always go the way that you want it to go, and you have to have enough common sense, I guess, if you're going to be in this business, that things ain't always going to be with the way you want them to be. So no, it's no need for him. They didn't pour any money or start any negotiations. No paperwork was drawn up. It was just a little bit of talk. So there's no reason to get upset. I mean, I saw what he said because he was certain that fight was going to be happening next. So if he was in his feelings, he was just in his feelings. But if you're a professional, you got to understand a lot of times fights fall out sometimes while you're in training for whatever reason. So you can't now get mad because another guy who has a fan base that would have generated a good deal of interest and possibly money in the fight is going somewhere else. So you're not going to get that right now. So I don't know if Shakur is in the position again, but if you wanted to go there, but you're going to have to do something. But getting upset about it, let it go. It'll come back around somewhere down the line.
Let me give a shout out to another member. Oh, sorry, Band Up. Let me give a shout out to another member of the channel, a supervisor of the Road to Take film crew. Double salute to her. 2 Cents Boxing just came into the building. Go ahead, Band Up.
What's good, Nickel Slick? What up, Nickel Slick? How you doing? Anyways, I know, this is boxing and not UFC, but I know, I think boxing should have a thing where, like how Greg said, if you are in negotiations or whatever, they should have a backup system. Because I know in UFC fights, they always got, the main fighter, and then they got, just in case that fighter gets hurt or whatever, they got a backup. You know what I mean? And that still sells as well. You know what I mean? I know it's not the exact fight everybody want, but just imagine you had a Fury Wilder and Fury got sick and then Joshua stepped in and now it's undisputed. Could you imagine that? That type of, you know what I mean? That'd be crazy. And then on top of that, that would keep boxers sharp at all times.
That's true. You got to point it to keep them sharp. Double salute to my cuz, Isaiah Butler. Thank you for the contribution and the support to the channel. My cousin Zeke says, Rolly always has a puncher's chance, though. And so with that being said, NHA Tube is here. Quick question, NHA Tube. I mean, Rolly has a puncher's chance. Ryan Garcia is saying he's ready to fight him. He was hanging with Floyd Mayweather over the weekend. We know Al Heyman and PBC has the rights to Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero is even saying he wants to fight. I mean, did Ryan Garcia technically duck Devin Haney to fight Rolly, or say he wanted to fight Rolly, or is he looking at the potential earnings he can make? Because he believed, and he said this publicly, that he believed that Devin Haney did 35,000 pay-per-view buys. NHA, you there, NHA?
Oh, I'm here. My fault. I didn't realize I was muted. But I was gonna say salute to you, the chat, the panel, my guy, Mr. Greg, Band Up, and who else is in here? Can't see who else is in here, but
that's it.
Well, Ryan, I mean, if the Haneys actually took this negotiation serious, it wouldn't take it with a little bit of grain of salt, or whatever, for lack of a better term, they fools. Because this ain't the first time Ryan, done swerved, Haney. And the other thing too, we got to understand that the play, in my humble and honest opinion, has always been Rolly. I mean, and he announced it. I don't know how many people remember, post-fight, right after, he got the stoppage, he announced it in the ring. He said, I want Rolly next. So all this other negotiating with the Haneys, and that's all smokescreen in my opinion, because that's what Ryan does, man. He sells he sells you other fights he don't plan on taking on. Like you did it with Tank like years back, and then all of a sudden, oh, I got mental health issues. I mean, if he does have mental issues, that's a serious thing. But you know, this Ryan we're talking about here. So, I mean, if I'll repeat it, if Haney's, if they actually didn't, you know, if they actually took these negotiations serious and don't have, I think they do have a backup plan. But I would not count on Ryan fighting anybody, you know, legit. And I don't put the blame on Floyd. Yeah, Floyd, you know, might, you know, yeah, he's probably getting in his ears. Yeah, because, you know, of course Floyd would rather have him fight Rolly because that's his fighter. But at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, he could fight Rolly. Oscar's still gonna get paid, you know, regardless who he fights, whether he fights Rolly or he fights whatever. So
Facts.
I think it's just Ryan being like a petulant child, and Ryan being Ryan, man. How many people forget that right before the fight, his last fight, he was, you know, he was talking about, yeah, I don't like the way Shakur acts, man. He kind of dissed me one time at a club. Blah blah. This is now. He's like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make sure I send Shakur a contract. It's, you know what I'm saying, right after my next fight. And did he do that? Nope. The first thing he said right after his last fight is like, I want Rolly next. So the fact that people are surprised that he's choosing Rolly, to me, it's just like people not paying attention. It's just that's what Ryan does. He's been doing this for years. I mean, it's a reason why he still has not fought one. He hasn't held the title in any weight class, and some people got the nerve to consider him like quote unquote one of the kings, which is blasphemous. He has potential. He has some skills, but that man, he's shown us he's not trying to fight the best. I mean, he got the Tank fight, but that's a no-brainer. He got, you know, he made a ton of money, so he took that, and I give him that. But moving forward, man, we're gonna see those type of challenges very far and few in between. But that's my take on it.
Oh, very good response. So I have a question for everybody on the panel. We got to understand this. Sandor Martin, to my understanding, is the mandatory for the title to fight Devin Haney. So if he don't fight Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia, I mean, you know, he fights Rolly Romero, I mean, there's two other fights that Devin can fight, Matias and his mandatory, which is Sandor Martin. So I mean, he's still got options, you know.
Oh, you definitely do.
And I think he can beat, you know.
That's what I was saying. That's why they shouldn't be mad, because he got options.
We have my guy YSM Sports Media here. What's going on, YSM?
I want to say on record that I'm not your guy anymore. Me and Band Up have signed on. We are officially a part of Team SNAC in the SNAC program. we represent. We got SNAC on our backs.
So you're part of the SNAC program.
We officially a part of the SNAC
I didn't get mine yet. I didn't get mine yet. Mine's supposed to come in. Mine's supposed to get shipped today.
It should be here any day now. Thanks to Rachel. Thanks to Marty. They made the SNAC program sound so good that I had to get on it. I need to enhance my performance.
You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Let me let you guys know if I ain't
wait a minute. So YSM, why you say you're not my guy no more, and I'm the one that helped promote the SNAC program, brother?
Apparently, according to Terrence Crawford fans, that you are. I said, according to Terrence Crawford fans, you are anti-Crawford and anti-SNAC. That's according to them, man.
Well, once again, you might have missed my sermon earlier as the preacher, but I told the people like this here, I want to be held accountable for the words I do say, not for the words I don't say, because people are assuming things, and that's not fair to me. But if that's how they feel, it's all good. I mean, if you really think about it, I've put SNAC on the map more than any other SNAC fighter. I was promoting more of the SNAC program more than the fighters that's on it.
I got a question for that. I got a question for that, Marty.
Come on, shoot
Is
it.
Errol Spence still fundamentally sound? Is Errol Spence still fundamentally sound?
Absolutely, he's still fundamentally sound.
He is fundamentally sound.
Yes, of course. He is.
Hey, man, though, you be fundamentally sound and still get your ass whipped, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna find out how fundamentally sound that boy is.
But band up, we gotta put this in perspective. This is boxing. You know, people. Here's the thing. This is one of the things I was telling my son when he was a little kid and I was training him. You're going to get hit. It's boxing. So the thing is, anybody can get hit, anybody can get dropped, anybody can lose. Remember, when two good fighters are fighting each other, this is what it comes down to. And all I'm saying is, just because you lose in dramatic fashion doesn't mean that you're, not fundamentally sound. I mean, he lost.
Yeah. I'm just saying, them areas that there's a lot of areas that you yourself too. He was preaching about, you know what I mean? That I don't care what nobody say. SNAC, altitude sickness, whatever everybody want to say. When they got in that ring, we seen what happened. I don't care what nobody say. And there's areas that beyond that, skill set areas that Errol just wasn't matching up with.
That's cool, but let me put this in perspective. We got a guy named Aaron Brooks. I'm cool. Band up. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
But here's the thing. I'm cool with that. But once again, I want to be held accountable for words that I say and not words I don't say. I did say, watch this, that I am not an in-ring performance expert. You've all heard me say that. So if I'm giving my opinion and observation and I'm wrong, or if I come back and say, okay, I thought he was going to do this, but he didn't and he lost, I don't think I should be criticized for it because being a boxing trainer is not my expertise. So if I want to give an opinion, I should be entitled to do so. But band up, I should be entitled to do so like everybody else that give predictions. You know what I mean? And so what I'm saying is I'm not an in-ring performance expert. I know my guy, Greg Hackett, he does a great job as an in-ring performance expert. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is I'm not. But you know what nobody's never challenged me on yet? No one never challenged me on my business acumen and the expertise that I have as a boxing manager. But yet I'm being criticized because I said Errol Spence got footwork and this and that. Come on, y'all. Let's call it down the middle, man. Be fair.
Hey, yo, if you're fundamentally sound, can you still lose a fight?
What was just
I don't think he heard you.
Band up. If you are fundamentally sound, can you still lose a fight?
I mean, I didn't see no fundamentally sound anything that night when you in there with that type of monster.
Hey, band up. Come on.
You can. Yeah, you can. You can be a better fighter. But I didn't see no fundamentals that night.
Okay, so was Roy Jones fundamentally sound?
No, Roy was a little bit everywhere.
No, Roy Jones is an unconventional fighter.
I wouldn't be. No.
Did Roy Jones ever knock out fundamentally sound fighters?
Yeah.
What about Manny Pacquiao? Cotto was fundamentally sound. Did he knock Cotto ass out?
What's up, y'all?
I'm just saying. You can say all that, but what I'm getting at that night when he was in the room with Terrence Crawford, no, there's a difference. There's a difference because I still haven't heard. All I hear is, it's gonna be a better fight, but I haven't heard skill for skill wise what that man is gonna do different from anybody. Can't nobody tell me. And why is that? Before the fight, you guys had so many. No. Before the fight, everybody had so many ways and so many answers on how that man was going to win before they seen what happened. But now that I'm asking you guys what's going on and what skill-wise he's going to do differently, nobody seems to have an answer. That's crazy to me.
Well, Ben,
if I ask you skill-wise, what can Deontay Wilder do against Joseph Parker? You can tell me.
Okay, hold on. We can say the same thing about Crawford fans equally. Now, let me spin it this way. When I ask Crawford fans, how is Crawford going to beat Spence? None of you Crawford fans added the SNAC program and your keys to victory. None of you did. You
Oh
ain't
my
saying, oh, you
God.
want to
Because
SNAC,
we ain't
that's
worried
going to help
about
me
that.
win? Huh?
Hey, that's a
Y'all
good
didn't say,
concern.
huh?
I would say this. So to chime in on the SNAC program part, right? So
I
just so
don't even
y'all
know
know,
how we got on SNAC, Aaron. He brought
but
it up. You see, these
but
guys be trapping me,
Aaron,
bruh.
but
Aaron,
what I want to say is,
Aaron, you better not slander the SNAC
oh
program,
no.
man.
So what I'm not gonna slander it. It works.
I'm
So here's the deal for y'all to
on that
understand.
pack. I'm on that pack,
But
Marty.
hold on. But y'all don't understand. So just so you know how Marty say he a manager, right?
Yes.
So I study human physiology. I work in exercise rehab and I work in personal training and I work in nutrition. All right. So what we say about the SNAC program, okay? I believe it works. Now I'm down here in South Florida. So we got companies just as good as SNAC and better than SNAC on every corner you could think of. Okay. The one thing that Victor Conte, and I watched him talk to you, he never said he wasn't using PEDs. He was saying there's nothing that is illegal that we're using.
Yes.
So for you guys to know this, it's called an IUPAC code. I want to give y'all facts. That gives a chemical compound a definition. If it does not possess an IUPAC code, it cannot be banned because it doesn't have an identity yet. So if I'm giving you something that doesn't have a chemical identity, you are not cheating because you're not breaking the rule because the rule doesn't exist because the drug doesn't have an identity yet. We cannot rule out that that's not happening. So when you ask and also I'll tell you, I was a college wrestler. So I also was a combat athlete who had to weigh in, but we have same day weigh-ins. But I'll talk about, let's say you're not taking something that makes you stronger, right? You're not taking something that gives you more endurance. I can run a diuretic in you, and I'm not going to name it because it gets your channel in trouble. And I'm talking about this. I'm talking about with people who making $50,000 to $100,000 a year, not millionaires, okay? I can run a diuretic in you that will dehydrate all your tissues. They can cut 20 to 30 pounds off of you, IV you, and let you rest for 36 hours, and I will put 16 to 23 pounds back on you. And I can do that with regular ass people. Down here in Florida, right, we got clinics. When you get drunk all night, we IV you the next day, right?
Yes, they do.
It's the same thing. So if I run a diuretic in a fighter that doesn't have an identity yet or can't be traced, I can get him or her down 20-something pounds. You're right. Get them on the scale and have 36 hours to rehydrate them on a cellular level. That is performance enhancement, but legally it ain't cheating. So SNAC didn't say they're not doing that. He did say we're testing blood levels, we're testing hydration levels, hormone levels, and everything else. And he didn't say he's not doing it. And he didn't say he was doing it, so we ain't gonna put that jacket on him. But if you did that, it's not illegal everywhere you go, but it is a performance enhancer. That's a fact. That's all I want to say. The SNAC shit works, okay? It depends on how you do it. And that's speaking from an educated standpoint. Now, I'm not saying no fighter is doing it, but I'm saying this. Down here on my level, where people make $100,000 a year I can do it with, what you think you can do with a millionaire?
I have a question for you. Since you are what I consider an expert based on the things that you were saying, based on your background that you're telling us about, I alluded in a question about quote unquote low testosterone. And I only brought that up because Victor mentioned something about having to go to VADA and prove to the board that he needed this prescription of a fighter approved. We know what he was saying in essence. However, I know what he was saying, you know what he was saying, but I want to ask you about something. Since you talked about IV, right? And how you could actually build up someone's weight. Obviously, you can do the same thing with their red blood cells and white blood cells. When someone's low on iron or testosterone, what are some of the regimens that you all use down there, down south, let's say with someone who's $100,000 a year athlete?
So, I mean, essentially we blood dope them, but they not playing sports. They just regular people, right? So you could take an IV bag, right? Dose it with some minerals and everything else, pop it in them. If they got an iron to sit down, they good. It's gonna go right in the bloodstream, just like that. And I'm talking about a bag that you can Google and find all the ingredients in it, right? if you have a team that can put these bags together, like a nurse practitioner or somebody, you can put what you want in that bag. Because they've already weighed in. The drug testing already happened. I mean, unless you're going to test me the morning of the fight. I mean, we all done. That's why when I was wrestling in the NCAA, I wrestled in college, you couldn't do IVs. We had same-day weigh-ins. You can't IV because they don't know what you're going to put in you. So if you was like, I mean, I guess the only combat sport in NCAA would be wrestling. So you can't IV. You got to weigh in the same day. You got to weigh in the same thing every day, and you cannot IV. That's a doping charge in NCAA.
Yeah, got you.
Marty, let me piggyback off of what he's saying. All right. Okay. So first, he's definitely right with the IVs. A little sneaky trick that they do, instead of like doing it in your arms, people be taking IVs through like your big toe and your what is that, the middle toe? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the state athletic commission or whatever athletic commission you are using won't be able to determine. Yeah. And then the part where he says the performance enhancing. Yeah, I believe that dudes on the top level are doing something. Whether it's illegal or not, that may not be the case, but I feel like they're all doing something. And technically there's nothing illegal about enhancing performance.
Yeah.
In its general vague term. So if there's something that isn't on the list, shit, what can we say, right?
Yeah, like, because it's just kind of weird because we look at it, right? Because sometimes in the clinic, I ain't gonna say what clinic I'm at, but in the clinic I'm at, we deal with high school athletes, and the parents try to come in like, oh, he's dehydrated from the game. He ain't dehydrated from the game. What the hell you want to do? But you know what I mean? If in good faith for legalities, they're gonna say, well, we're not gonna use these products because these are banned, but we will use these products because the high school federation doesn't ban them. Now that doesn't mean that they don't give you a little extra boost, but they not on the ban list, so I'm not using them.
Not only are things not on the ban list that you're speaking of, and I'm not talking about down south, I'm talking about in boxing, and we talked about SNAC, but I can text the founder of VADA. My point is not only can you manipulate it by saying, hey, I'm not breaking the rules, it's not illegal, it's going to give you the boost that you need, but at the same time, I know when they're going to come test, and it's stringent, the most stringent, once every 10 days, and then on VADA's website, it says 8 weeks before the event. Oh, this is a no-brainer. And I have my own doctor who I can write a prescription to you if you are low on, let's say, iron or testosterone, and you'll get an exemption. I mean, anything can happen is my point.
Now, to not to slander Victor. So when he made that point about Errol running the hill, that is very, very true. Now I see this a lot when I deal with people when we talk about overtraining. People like, ain't no overtraining, I'm just grinding. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard of. This is just what he talking about is literally freshman year physiology. Okay, you can accrue too much damage on your body, right? And this is why I say, forgive me if there's any boxing coaches in the chat. I know they love they coach boxing, but when they talk about developing athletes, a lot of them are just terrible, right? I'm just grind. Well, when you train a muscle, you break a muscle down. If you don't give it time to recover, you get a buildup of things like hemoglobin and shit in your blood. That's what happened to Virgil, what's in the Virgil T's, all them guys. Or you do get a low testosterone effect because in between that recovery period, your testosterone dips a little bit, right? So, man, you could see a fighter who is overtraining and they send him in for a testosterone exemption, and he would not show a doping effect because he actually was low.
Right. That's true.
So there's a truth where, like, I think Lamont Peterson.
Yes.
Changed the way he was training because he was actually destroying his testosterone levels. So he didn't get any advantage from it. He just got back up to normal levels. And a lot of athletic people or athletes are really walking around, particularly at the amateur level, with how can we put it? Because they're not permanently low, but during training camp, they're killing their testosterone because they're destroying more tissue than they're building. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you can see that from a blood draw, urinalysis, and things like that. So in respect, that actually you can get an exemption for an athlete and it not show any extra potential to him. It just brings him or her back to normal.
Right. Let me get
So
this
that is
super
true.
chat. I appreciate that, man. Let me get this super chat real quick. And I have a question real quick because we're talking about this. Double salute to my guy, Rod, my man, Rod. Geez. Nope, LOL. But shout out to my guy, Marty Raw, roll the MF and tape. That's my guy, Rod. So I do have a question. And we keep hearing this. And every time I hear someone do this, it brings me back to the $1 million question. People that band up brought it up, so now it's giving me an open door to walk into it. Spence was not fundamentally sound. He doesn't have good footwork. He doesn't have good defense. He doesn't have good head movement. He is an alcoholic. He was in multiple car accidents that basically hurt his body, gave him some adverse effects. He wasn't training like he was supposed to. These are the 7 or 8 things that we heard prior to the Crawford fight about Errol Spence. And my $1 million question that keeps on remaining is, if everybody knew all of this, including Crawford, what did he call Victor for? Now here, granted now, granted now, Gregory Quarterbaum did a wonderful job with the super chat, and he asked a great question, and that's why I saved it for last. Who called who? So the whole sponsorship, please get that theory out of the way. In other words, there might be some truth to the sponsorship. That wasn't the initial reason for the call, because Victor didn't call him. He called Victor. So, and these are Victor words, not mine. This is not an insinuation. So my point is, if all of these deficiencies were so at a disadvantage for Errol Spence, it sounds like Crawford fans believe in their heart. But Terrence Crawford didn't believe in his heart that he can beat him, apparently, or he wouldn't have called that man. And so all I'm saying is, why can't the Crawford fans agree?
No, Marty. No.
Yo, Marty, remember Bud was too small. Remember Bud? Hold on. Remember Bud had he didn't have no real skill. All he had was athleticism. Bud didn't really have no power. His opposition level was weak. He don't got no resume. You remember all those things that we was hearing about Bud? Remember those? So the same thing, you want to list all these things about Errol, we was hearing things about Bud too, wasn't we?
But we got to
crazy. What you got to run up a mountain for 4 days before the fight? Ain't you already the guy?
He couldn't
what you overtraining for?
He couldn't make weight. That's what
make weight.
All of those deficiencies, just like I said before, Marty. Bud, Terrence had deficiencies, and so did EJ. The difference is Terrence addressed his, because EJ was still winning fights with those same deficiencies that we called out. How was he winning those fights? 3 basic things to me is why he was still winning: strength, size, and his punching power. Terrence addressed that by realizing he needed to be bigger, a little bit stronger. He needed to work on his grappling, and he did that. He picked up the phone and called Victor. Find out where I'm deficient at so I can address my particular deficiencies. Call up MMA. Listen, I already was a wrestler. I want to be better because I'm going to be fighting somebody that we're going to be in the clinches. He's going to be a little stronger. I need to be better. So you have to still address where EJ is strong at, where he's good at.
When did he call, Mr. Greg? I agree with that. You got to improve. But at what point did he call Victor?
My understanding, he got prepared before the Sean Porter fight.
2 years prior to.
So
all right, I'm gonna say
we see fighters watch guys,
and another thing, Marty,
years before they fight them.
I'm just stating the fact.
Marty, I'm going along with it. Sometimes you have to, just like Terrence watched EJ and studied him. You don't just study somebody in a few months. You watch how they progress till y'all get to the point where y'all are both probably are going to fight. which is when he got to 147. But he studied him. He prepared long before the fight actually happened. And that's what a professional is supposed to do in the first place. From my point of view, I'm going to go in on EJ real hard. And I never have. I think he was
because
and that all of those deficiencies
and another thing
he had, he's responsible for them, particularly going into the fight. If he had rib injury, he knew that. He hadn't been in the ring for 14 to 18 months. He knew that. He knew he was dehydrated. He knew that. He also knew he had issues having to do with his eyes, because he said in his own remarks, why you think he was able to hit me with all those, with the hooks and the jabs, because he had issues with his eyes. But he knew all of that. Now, I'd always said that was arrogance and that was hubris. But he had always got away with it in all of his fights. All of those issues that he's had before.
Right. But Crawford, hey, listen, I'm not holding Crawford accountable for none of those issues that.
So I'm holding EJ accountable for that. So
right, but I'm saying I'm not
exactly.
But what I'm saying is I'm not holding Crawford accountable for those things that Errol Spence did or didn't do. But what I'm saying is those things that we're talking about still wasn't enough to convince Bud not to get on the phone and call Victor.
And so they shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have been. You're supposed to address everything, not just the few things that you know you can address every aspect of it. Yeah. So if you want to say that Bud wasn't confident, what does a man do when he's not confident about something? He prepares himself and he addresses those issues where he can become confident. So if he thought I got to get bigger, let me call this man to check my blood to see what I need to do to get bigger. You're supposed to address all of those things, and that's what Bud did. That's what we should be applauding.
Now, Mr. Greg, Mr. Greg, I got an issue. Mr. Greg, I got an issue though.
Okay.
Go ahead, YSM, and then Aaron, and then Aaron after YS. Okay. Go ahead, Y.
Mr. Greg, my only issue is with that logic, right? See, Terrence Crawford fans, when somebody loses a fight, there are normally multiple reasons why somebody loses a fight. Right. And this is directed towards Banda. Terrence Crawford fans don't want to hear the reasons why we think Errol Spence lost the fight. We're just supposed to say is, oh man, Bud is the greatest. He's more skilled. That's why Errol Spence lost. But no, there are a bunch of mitigating factors to why guys lose. Preparation. If you make mistakes in preparation, that attributes to you losing a fight. And so not everything is an excuse. Sometimes we are making observations of what might have went wrong. Everybody has their predictions before a fight happens, but after we watch a fight, then now we have to still analyze what we saw. Now, I had it 50-50. I didn't know who was going to win, but I know what I saw that night. And what I saw is one guy was more prepared than the other one. Now, Mr. Greg, you're right. Errol Spence has a high level of hubris. Heading into the fight, he said he was going to break him like Kuta Kinte. And that bothered me because Bud is a naturally stubborn man. So I kept going back to he has no plan B, because what if you can't break him? Then what you going to do next? If that's your only objective to going into a fight, that I'm going to break somebody, then you have no plan B. So if you cannot break that man's will, you're going to lose. Go ahead, Aaron.
All right, so to be transparent, because I'm new to the panel, so
YSM, even in the build-up, Errol was just saying, I'm a
Band up.
Look, initially, for Band up, I'm gonna be real. Yes, I picked.
I know, my bad.
No, but I picked Errol. I was wrong. All right, so now what I want to say, let's say Terrence didn't cheat at all. I want to talk about because I'm gonna tell you what I think too, Marty, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. We got to be at the facts, okay? Let's just say, based on how we know Errol Spence does live, and how he prepared, right? And let's go just with what Victor Conte said. If all he ever did was test Terrence's blood before and after practice and told him when to rest, that was still more than enough to be prepared for Errol. Errol was on a low carb, low fat diet. That's the dumbest shit to ever do. Errol was overtraining. And let's be real, up until about 2 years ago, he treated his body like a trash can. So if I'm just simply checking white blood cell count, testosterone count every night, right? And ain't giving you nothing else, just telling you when to rest, right? So some athletes that go 3 days of training, 1 day of rest, 3 days of training, 1 day of rest. That was still more than enough to prepare for what Errol was doing. Errol was just doing more damage to his body than good, on top of all the damage he'd done to his body before. Now, what I think, I still think Terrence cheated. But what I'm saying is it's very possible that he could have just done that and still be more prepared physically as a fact than what Errol was doing. Because Errol was just destroying his body.
But see,
Aaron,
but see, Aaron
Define cheated though, bro.
But I still think he cheated. No, but I'm saying this. As a fact, if that's all they did, he was still more prepared. Now, what I still think Terrence cheated. But what I'm saying is, as a fact,
define cheating.
You can't just slide that in there.
Hold on, Aaron, you are an expert. You saying you believe that Terrence Crawford is cheating?
I do.
Why?
Here's the reason why. Don't hang out with the dope man and get mad when people think you smoking dope or selling dope. That's all I'm saying.
No, there we go.
You running with the dope man, baby. You running with the dope man, all right?
Great name.
Is that the only reason?
What? And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Hold
on, Marty. Hold on.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna close it out.
Marty, please. Let me set it up the right way. We got new audience that's just coming in.
Marty, please.
I told y'all before. Ben, hold up, Ben. Time out. I told y'all before we're gonna be respectful. Now Aaron Brooks, he isn't, to me, based on his knowledge that he taught us a few things. He's an expert in the background, so I will listen to him. This is not like a fan that's trying to come up here and disrespect Terrence. So that's why I want us to, before we jump at the guy, let's give him an opportunity. It's his first time here. Let the man get an opportunity to express himself. Now, go on, Aaron. Come on, Aaron.
What I say for academic truth, it is possible that he could have just been doing blood draws, right? And he'd be more prepared than Errol. That is actually possible, right?
Yes.
And I have to tell the truth on that. Then you ask me what I think.
Yes.
I think he was cheating. The reason why, he could have got that same blood draw from a million other clinics, right? But he called the dope man. That's why. He could have went to, there's a franchise called Forever Young, all these other franchises all across America. He could have went to and got that same treatment of a blood. They could have measured his blood at the end of practice, and he got an IV bag of something we could have seen, right? He ain't published nothing that he used. He won't publish nothing that he used. And you went to someone who went to prison for doing illegal concocted substances that can't be traced. Now, that's just me and my opinion. Now, if it wasn't Victor Conte and he just said, I'm just testing his blood, like, who was the Cuban coach that Cotto worked with for the Margarito fight?
His name was Pedro.
He did the same thing. He said Cotto has a problem with fatigue. They were in the 24th. You see him prick his ear. They take a blood sample. He does the same thing, but he was not known for cheating, right? So this is why I say this. It's true you can do that and not be cheating, but you did it with a known cheater. So I don't trust it.
I can respect
can I call time out real fast?
Because it's just because of who he was with. I respect
exactly. That's all it is.
Okay.
But the process.
No, I got something to say to what Ryan Sim said.
Hey, Bendo.
One mic.
I just want to call time out. I'm not even gonna talk long. Is that the real Ismael Barroso in the comments?
The what?
I don't know if people peep. Is that the real Ismael Barroso in the comments?
Somebody in the comment named Ismael.
It's Ismael Barroso that just knocked out O'Hara Davies in the first round. I know y'all saw that fight.
Ismael Barroso is a boxer.
Yeah, I just see that comment too.
Yes, I know. Is that the real Ismael Barroso in the comments?
The one that lost to Roly?
Yeah.
What did he say? I gotta find his comments. Hold on.
He says, "Where's the proof that Bud cheated?"
Right now. Yeah, if that's him, I would love to have him hop on. I'll step off, have him hop on.
Nah, that ain't the real dude. That's actually my grandfather, so I know that ain't Ishmael.
I mean, I will say
really
there is no proof.
Nah, I'm joking.
No, I can respect what you said because you said you didn't. You believe because of who he went to.
Exactly.
That's why I get
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
Now, I always had problems with Victor because of his image, but I don't believe Bud cheated. But I will say, just for you, Marty, he'll probably come back at some point. Victor Conte, he thinks I insulted him as well. So it'll come up. He had said something the last time we was on. He made a comment. He said I called him a liar or something. So if it ever comes up, I'll explain it to him because I don't know what he was talking about. But I think
the thing about it is this: we got to call a spade and deal with the preacher's here now.
Man.
When the preacher not here, we let things slide. But when the preacher's here, we don't. I'm not calling him a liar, but we did hear him say a few lies in 2 interviews when he was talking to me. So we got to deal with what's real. Now, with that being said, that being said, let me finish, Ben Duck. Let me finish. With that being said, the preacher is here now, Aaron. There is a scripture, a proverb. It's very clear. It says, bad company corrupts good morals. So to Aaron's point, we got to put this in there now because the documentary of Netflix came out after the fight, and people that didn't know Victor, they starting to know who he was in his past. So if you call the guy, irregardless if he changed his life, let's say he changed his life around like he said, changed life around. But when Terrence called him, he knew that 3 years prior, we all knew, 3 years prior to Crawford going over there, Willie Monroe tested positive for a banned substance. We know that to be a fact. Now, Victor came on there and clarified that he didn't know nothing about it. The guy wasn't near him. He did it when he walked in 7-Eleven and bought a libido pill or something like that. All I'm saying is we had the knowledge of this man's history. So if you call him, knowing his history, knowing that the testing is flawed, knowing that all the stuff he got going on, and people are starting to give you some pushback, I don't think it's equally fair to the people that's giving you pushback that you get an attitude. Now, here's the thing. Crawford didn't respond to me. This is just my personal opinion. And I'm not saying I don't like him. My expectation was that Crawford was going to come out and just be very specific and say, I am not using any performance enhancement drugs or anything illegal. In fact, he tweeted the opposite by saying, you will never find nothing in my body. See, when you start talking like that, more people start being more suspicious, even when you're innocent. When you start saying, I use certain things with SNAC that other fighters don't use, people start being more suspicious. It's the way that you're responding to the criticism of your association. Now, I got to point out this. Victor Conte was here. He was here in the interview. His words, not mine. And if people don't believe me, I'll go get the iPad and roll the tape. He said when he is observing fights and he see a fighter that is being enhanced, and he said he can tell when a fighter is using EPO. He says when he see the benefits of it, especially later in the rounds, in a fight, when the fight is over, he looks at, this is him after making an observation, he looks at the individual or individuals that they're associated with, and then he draws his own conclusion. Did anyone on the panel hear him say that?
Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I heard that.
Awesome. Awesome. But here's the thing. He did say that. Now, let's put it in proper context and include him in the illustration. If any other SNAC fighters are basically fighting and people making a certain observation, and then they look after the fight at who the fighters associate, which is him, then nobody can get mad because he used that principle on other people. You see so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So that's all I'm saying. Lucky McKinnels, are you still here, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Lucky, what's your take on all this, brother? You hear all this. We still talking about it, Lucky. They brought it up, not me. We hear it now and again. Lucky, what's your take on all this, bro?
No, I'm enjoying the conversation.
We ain't even talking about Errol no more.
No, I'm enjoying the conversation.
Let talk, man, Doug.
But I was
Lucky,
sitting
what's
back.
Going on, brother?
Well, I was sitting back. I was listening to everybody talking, especially Aaron Brooks, and I agree. I agree with what everybody was saying, but it's like let's say you're a basketball player, and you got a chance to train with Dwayne Wade, But then you sit here and you call up Dwight Howard. We're going to have our suspicions. We're going to sit back and think, oh, wait. Why would he call Dwight Howard out of all people? So that's what I really think. Like, it's a reason why he called Victor. And everybody, I mean, you got to understand, that's just our opinion on it. It's just our thoughts. It ain't no facts until we got a clear answer. But right now, that's our opinion.
Yeah, I'm lost in that comparison.
But look, I do want to say something. I heard Bando talking about running to the top of the hill, talking about Earl. Bando should have met him at the top of the hill so he can get a better connection.
He's still messing with you, Bando.
That was a good one.
Hey, Marty.
Can I respond now, Marty?
Yes, please respond, Bando.
Lucky McKenna, you're going to have to get a bigger dog on your screen. You want to talk to me. You see what I got off today? We big dogging today. You ain't getting me down. We big dogging today.
Y'all better not lose either. Y'all better not lose.
What's good, Bando? What's up, bro?
Oh, we ain't losing. Oh, we ain't losing. Oh, come on, man. It's going to be raining purple and gray everywhere. But to what you said, ISM, and to Marty, I just got a question, bro. And, you know what I mean? We all know this man, you know, he knew he was going, he knew after, when everybody heard that Terrence Crawford was fighting David Avenesian, you know what I mean? So he could have took another fight with your mans, you know what I mean? Instead of waiting for Bud, you know what I mean, all this time. So he couldn't have been ring rust, or he could have took a fight, you know what I mean, with Keith, like he threatened to do. So we're gonna let that ring rust, we ain't gonna let that ring rust thing slide up in there. That, like Greg said, he knew what he was doing. That man knew exactly what he was doing. And he's the reason why he stayed out there ring for all the months. He could have took another fight.
Well, he said he wasn't
but
going
y'all
to
want
take
to address
another
that
fight.
one.
He said he wanted Terrence Crawford to be his next fight. He stood on that. So that was his decision. And because that was his decision, he had more ring rust. Once again, that's not Terrence Crawford's fault. You know what I mean? The only thing I didn't agree with Crawford, and I publicized this already, is he could have let them know out of good business faith, hey, I don't agree to the terms. I'm going to go, shop another deal, and I'll spin the block and, talk to y'all at another time. But apparently that didn't happen because something unethical happened, and that was that David Evanesian was pulled off of a card that he was already scheduled to fight. Nobody can tell me on this panel that they agreed with that because that was wrong. But the bottom line is it don't make no difference. The man still called Victor Conti, and we know why he called him. He called him because he wanted his performance enhanced. Now, people are saying legal. Some people saying illegal. And I don't know, but all I do know is he felt in his heart that he needed that extra boost, whatever that was, or improvement or enhancement or whatever, to fight Errol Spence, and he got it. And so when people say that the SNAC program does not work, including Victor Conti, who said that SNAC did not have an edge on Terrence Crawford winning, it's just that he's a great fighter. I agree that he's a great fighter, but we can't act like the SNAC program don't work, because earlier in the first interview, Victor said that the SNAC program works and science proves it. In the second interview, he said it had no edge and it had no benefit for Crawford. So we know that there's something wrong with that picture.
Yeah.
You think you got a phone call?
That doesn't make any sense at all to say. Like, all right, so you hire a basketball coach because you want to get better at basketball, right? So coaching works. Why the hell are you going to go to a nutritionist if it don't work? That is the stupidest expression I've ever heard in my life. SNAC didn't help him get better. Well, then why he go there for? Like, what would he go there for? Like, he went there because it helped him get better. Now, we can decide if he cheated, if it was cheating, if it wasn't cheating, whatever. You hire a quarterback coach because you suck at throwing the ball, so you want to get better at throwing the ball. You don't hire a quarterback coach and be like, oh, man, the coach didn't help me. You hired him for a reason. That's why I go back to what gives me, in my opinion now, suspicion. You're going to say SNAC didn't work, it didn't make me better. Then what you call him for? You paid him and called him.
No, wait. I disagree, Aaron. It's not that you called him and you went there. You stayed there. Go ahead.
That's you. Hold on, you're right. You called him, you paid him, you continue to pay him, but it don't work.
There that shows that it works. Go ahead.
But it don't work.
I got a question for Aaron.
Yes, sir.
So this is a little puzzling because you seem like an intelligent guy. You makes good decisions or choices. So you knew Spence had all the issues. You know, his nutrition is trash, like you said.
Well, now I know. I didn't know this.
No. Now you let's slow it up. You knew he's trashed his body for like the past 2 years. Why did you still pick him to win?
I didn't know that till after the fight.
You didn't know he was mistreating his body.
How?
I didn't know he drank. I didn't know. No. I didn't know he drank like that. I didn't know he drank. I thought this guy like. Look, I'm thinking maybe he had too many drinks that night because he was celebrating, right? I didn't know he drank and smoked like that his whole time.
So you ain't been following Spence that long, is what you're trying to say?
No. Here's the deal. I watched them fight. I don't really pay attention to their personal lives like that. So I didn't know he smoked like that and drank like that from the amateurs on up.
Okay.
So I didn't know that. Yeah, that's why I said, let's assuming nothing underhanded happened. Simply just Terrence testing his blood, right, and learning when to rest and what to eat. That was enough, right?
Okay.
That was enough.
That's not enough for you.
How important?
No. I'm saying that was enough because Earl. Now we know how hard Earl was living. I didn't know this dude was drinking and smoking back in the amateurs.
But the fact that the fact you said it was an advantage just by him testing the Bud's blood. That's not enough for you.
No. Let me go back again. It was an advantage. It's not an illegal advantage. What I'm saying is he could have got that from anybody. He didn't have to go to Victor for that.
Marty, check the comments, Marty.
Does that make sense?
It's the only reason you know is because of this affiliation with
that's it.
With Conti. So I got another question for YSM and Marty. Since Boots is y'all guy. Do y'all think Boots was enhanced or got an advantage that one fight he did work with Conti?
Who was talking to?
Did we lose a connection?
No, who was that to? Who was that to?
Who was it to?
Is it to me?
Either one of y'all. Feel free to answer.
I would say no. I would say no because.
No, those are for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Either YSM or Marty. Because I stay guy.
What's up?
I said, was Boots' performance enhanced and did SNAC work for him that one fight that he worked with Victor Conti with under the SNAC program?
Well, tell me what fight was it? So
I don't know. I mean, that I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just saying, asking you in general, because Victor Conti said he didn't work.
I don't know. Hey, listen.
Okay, listen.
I don't know.
Hypothetically, the one fight. It doesn't matter which one.
We can find that out, Marty. We can find that out. There's a picture with Jerron Boots Ennis, Bozy Ennis, and Victor all together, and they got SNAC shirts on. So we can figure out when that picture was taken, or we can figure it out. And you, Marty, are the one that's great at
we don't need to speculate. We don't need to speculate which fight. It's just
all right. One mic. The question was directed to me and YSM, right? So one mic. So what fight are you referring to? Because when I say the SNAC program, hey, hold on.
I don't know what fight it is.
Okay, hold on. Let me give it to you.
It could have been actually. I'll go ahead. I'm sorry. I could probably break it down. Which fight it was. I believe it was a fight that took place outside. But that's the only fight I actually remember seeing him
great.
wearing
When I say the SNAC NHA.
Go ahead.
When I say the SNAC program works, I give you the fights that I believe it worked in. So you're asking me a question about Boots, and you said he was waiting for one fight.
No, Victor did.
Talking about.
Victor Conti did. Victor Conti said.
Yeah, I know Victor said it. No, I
you didn't clarify what fight it was. I'm just asking you, did it work?
What fight are you referring to?
I don't know. Victor Conti said he worked in one fight, but if the SNAC program works, I just want you to acknowledge that it worked for him too.
NHA.
So
yes, sir.
No.
It didn't?
Boots was Boots.
Oh, so Bud can't be Bud?
Wait.
Go ahead.
You asked me, right? I said, no, Boots was Boots. Don't ask me how I know. Boots was Boots. There you go.
That's not a good answer. I mean, Bud is Bud too. You could say that too, right?
I could. If we can play like devil's advocate on that question. Boots is the.
Real quick, Aaron. I have to say this. So NHA.
Yep. I'm here.
The reason why I answered it the way that I did is because you don't have any evidence whether or not Boots used any of the SNAC for this one fight that we're talking about. That's why I asked you, what fight are you talking about? See, you can't tell me what fight. you can't tell me what fight it was because you don't have proof that Boots took any of the supplements or took. Hold on, let me finish. You don't know what fight Boots took the supplements or anything like that in. So that's why I asked you what fight. Now, with this being said, since you brought up Boots, you don't believe that there's anything wrong with Terrence Crawford taking SNAC products, correct?
No.
Okay, then. So if you don't think it's an issue with Terrence Crawford taking the SNAC products, it don't matter what fight Boots took it in. It ain't nothing wrong with it anyway. So what was your purpose of asking me and YSM?
I just wanted to know if it worked for him. If in your opinion, did it work for him? That one fight that he took the supplements. There we go.
But you proving my point. And if there's nothing wrong with the products and it's doing what it's supposed to do, like performance enhancement, then you are agreeing with me that the performance enhancement worked when Terrence Crawford fought Spence. Because nobody bought up Boots but you.
If it worked for Boots, it definitely worked for Crawford.
No.
Hey, yo.
Take Boots out of it. Oh, come on. Take Boots out of it. Did it work for Bud?
I like this dude. I like this dude.
Hold on.
It's just a yes or no. We don't have to argue. The preacher is here. I'm holding people accountable. The preacher holds you accountable. Did it work for Crawford when he fought Spence? Yes or no?
I don't know. Did it?
You tell me, Crawford fan. Did it work?
If it worked for Boots, it worked for Crawford, man. That's what I'm gonna say.
See, you ain't being honest. Did it work for the man?
I ain't being honest. No? I can't give you an honest answer to that. You guys, you have the answer to that. You told. I don't know if it worked for him or not.
The SNAC.
But you told me it worked for. If you told me it worked for Crawford, so I'm telling you, I'm giving you basically your own answer. You
don't
work
want
for Boots, it worked for Crawford.
See what it is Mr. Greg. I say it time and time again, and Victor Conti is in the chat, and I'll say it in front of him. Crawford fans don't want to admit it, and neither did Victor when he was here. You didn't want to admit it that the SNAC program worked, because if you do, you got to agree with the big dog preacher manager Martin Luther King, because if you agree that it works, you're actually saying that in essence, it worked in the fights that he was under the SNAC program. It's okay. It's all right.
I could be honest and say I don't know if it actually worked because it didn't work for my guy. It didn't work for my guy, man. It didn't work for my guy, Ibubu. So I mean, I'm
it's not going to guarantee you. Nobody said it's going to guarantee you a win.
I mean,
so just because Boop,
is it going to guarantee you an ass whooping?
No, I'm just saying it don't guarantee you a win. Right. So NHA, do me a favor if you can, because you're a Crawford fan. Can you do me just this one favor? You're not the only one I asked this favor to. Since it don't work, and you're not sure, can you go in Instagram or tweet, because you're a fan of him, Terrence Crawford, and can you ask him why is he still with the SNAC program if it doesn't work? Can you just at least ask him that?
No, I don't need to ask him. Just like I'm a fan of Boots too. I love Boots. I never felt I need to ask him why did you work with Boots for one fight?
Marty, can I address? Marty,
can I address him? Didn't Boots
go ahead, YSM, speak on it.
Oh my God.
I believe that the SNAC program works if you take it. Enough said. Right?
Can I answer as well? The
SNAC
program got Bud Crawford to perform magnificently against anybody he would have been in the ring with that night, including Errol Spence, because everything about his body was 100%. He could use all of his talent, and we saw that, all of his skills, and we saw that, and never even worry about Errol. He didn't know Errol might have had messed up ribs because he came into the ring with his intelligence before then to prepare for whatever Errol he was going to meet. He just happened to find an Errol that was in my opinion, even easier than I thought it was going to be. But the SNAC program does play a role in his preparation, in the same way studying, in the same way of training and all the other things. So we have to say, yes, the SNAC program and everything else that Bud did before this fight played a role in what he did in the ring to Errol. So we don't have to say, I don't think so. It doesn't make sense to even say that, basically. And I said it happened to Errol before I was aware of the SNAC program.
Yeah, that's true. We have 2 Cents Boxing, and I think Aaron wanted to talk too, and I apologize, Aaron. 2 Cents Boxing. We listen, 2 Cents. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because you came late, and I know Victor is here. We was talking about one thing, and you know this been happening for the last 3 weeks. I talk about one topic, and then somebody brings up the SNAC program out of nowhere, and then we have to address it. We're here now again, 2 Cents. You heard everybody on the panel. What's your take on everything here?
Well,
I don't know.
I hopped up here to really talk about the surgery, but let me say this real quick. We're talking about the SNAC program and the fighters enhancing themselves and all of this stuff. When us as regular people, quote unquote, that's not athletes, we should be doing the same thing. You should be trying to fulfill all your vitamin and mineral deficiencies for the simple fact that it prevents diseases. You hear people say, oh, 70% of diseases are preventable, but they never tell you why. A lot of the issues and things that people have, when you go to the doctor, they're not going to say, oh, well, you having this issue because you're deficient vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D. And what Victor has done, he's found a huge niche market, whether he's doing something illegal besides that, he's found a huge niche market in boxing because people don't know that. And then you have these athletes that are pushing their bodies to the limits, and they're not even vitamin and mineral efficient. So anytime you start taking vitamins and minerals like you're supposed to, that's automatically going to make you better at whatever you're doing. Now, I had a question, and I wanted to ask Victor, like, the transformations that Terrence Crawford made in those 7 months from the Avanesian fight to the Errol Spence fight, when you see those pictures side by side, I'm just like, wow. So you're telling me if I get all my vitamins and minerals together, I can do that? I can put on all this extra muscle like that? Because I do understand as an elite athlete, it's harder to put on muscle. It's not like if Marty went to the gym and he started working out, he could make this huge transformation in a couple of months because he hasn't been working out. As an elite athlete, I believe it's harder to make those transformations. But what I got up here to talk about was Errol Spence and this eye surgery. My question
and we're going to get to that in 2 Cents. We're going to get to that in just 1 second. Let me clear the airwaves on that because I want to make sure we segue right into that. I got to give a double salute to another member of the channel. He is also a supervisor of the channel. My guy, my day one supporter, Aaron Muhammad is with us in the chat, so double salute to him. Aaron, before we talk about the spin stuff, because I want to make sure we clarify all this. This is all good stuff. Aaron, you were going to talk, and I think I had kind of cut in to deal with NHA and them. Go ahead, Aaron. The floor is yours, my brother.
So to address, like, first off, 2 Cents, yeah, you're completely correct. This is why I said the process that I was talking about, I got everyday people down here doing it. Teachers, mechanics, firefighters, you know what I'm saying? They're doing hormone balancing, hormone replacement, nutrition balance, and everything else through IV and all these other things, right? So that's why I say that's completely true. I support that. And these people are not multimillionaires. So imagine what I said, the engine of if you were a multimillionaire, what you could do to your body, right? And to kind of address like the question, what the difference is with boots, the problem with an athlete, right, particularly a combat sport athlete, a younger athlete hasn't had as many fights, hasn't had as many training camps, and they don't have an issue with recovery yet. They're younger. An older man, he still has all of his capabilities. An older woman has all her capabilities. What happens is the amount of time to recover per training increases. So this is how you could see SNAC be more effective, or a SNAC-like product, right? Be more effective in an older athlete than a younger athlete, because the younger athlete, let's assume we're not raising testosterone levels, growth hormone levels, or anything like that, right? These recovery products work better in an older athlete because he or she has a harder time recovering in between training. That's why it would be more prevalent in an older athlete. A younger athlete wouldn't need those things. That's why young people typically take steroids, testosterone. Old people start using EPO and everything else because they're just trying to keep it together and recover. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, you would see a big difference. Let's just say that we're talking about nothing illegal, nothing shady, right? Just doing blood draws and running IVs, right? It would affect Terrence more because he's an older athlete with a longer career. He's had more training camps. He's had more abuse and more pain on his body. So as an older individual, and for the guy, look, I'm almost 40. So I got guys in here older than me. Man, I can't train like I did when I was a 22-year-old college wrestler. It takes me longer to recover, even at 38, 39 years old. So imagine if I was a pro athlete. Yeah, these recovery methods are going to be more effective as you get older because recovery is an issue. The thing that Victor's very good at is teaching athletes to recover faster. Now, I don't know for a fact if he's doing anything underhanded or shady. I think he is. That doesn't mean it's a fact, right? Because of his association. But to answer your question, it would be more prevalent in the older athlete who has more mileage because him or her is having an issue with recovery. That's what happens when athletes get older. They just can't recover in between competition as much. So they fall off. They lose reaction time. They start having more injuries, more soft tissue injuries, more joint exposure because it's wear and tear injuries. That's why it'd be different. So let's just say if Boots and Terrence took the same product, Terrence is going to show more advancement because he needs more. He's the older athlete.
Hey, can I say something?
Wouldn't that also be true because Terrence has a history prior to going to the SNAC program of coming up in weight at least 3 times from 135, fighting in those divisions, putting on the muscle mass, then doing it again, then doing it again. And it seems as though he has done it quite well. So now when he elevates, so to speak, by going to Victor Conti with the SNAC program, as Tucson said, she saw just in those 7 months between him getting ready for fighting David Avanesian, I believe she was speaking of, and fighting EJ, that it was like amazing to see how he looked from then at the fight itself.
And to be fair, I got a client down here. She had her second baby. We did nothing exponential, right? Rebalance her hormones and nutrients with IV therapy, right? And she looked amazing. 6-pack ripped after the second kid, right? It's possible to do it without what we would call illegal enhancements or underhanded enhancement. It is possible. I don't think.
Aaron, where are you located?
I'm in South Florida, Southeast Florida.
I'm interested in the hormone stuff you're talking about. I got some questions about that.
I would say this: if you live in any metropolitan city, you're going to see somewhere called a Forever Young or something similar to that, and that's what they do. But it's very possible to have done that, right? And I ain't gonna put the jacket like I'm saying. I suspect something, but it's very possible for an athlete to have done that the right way, especially if they've been living that way their whole life.
Like Crawford?
But yes, and it's possible. I don't know. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be real. I ain't going to run from it. It's possible with Crawford. I just don't believe it. But as a fact, it is possible.
Why don't you believe it?
Because of who he's associating with.
But has he been clean his whole life, though?
But
I get that, but now he's associating with who he's associating with.
So if you have a cousin who's been locked up.
Hold on. Before you keep going. Hold on. He was clean.
Get spotted with him. Yeah.
Hold on. He was clean his whole life as a younger man. Now he's an older
as an adult. Too.
No. The difference from 27 and 35
what proof do you have he's dirty?
Difference, bro.
What proof do you have he's been dirty in any point in his adulthood?
No. Remember, a lot of people don't.
No, you said he was only clean. He's only clean in his young life.
No. Let me finish. A lot of people start cheating later in their career to hold on because they want to avoid a decline. That's what I'm saying.
He cheated.
I didn't say that. You once again, you're putting words in my mouth. It is possible. I just said it is possible to have done this the correct way. However, I don't think that. I'm not going to change my opinion. I don't think that he did it the right way because of who he's associating with. But it's extremely possible to have done it the right way.
Question for Marty and Aaron. Are you implying now, because I'm 38, that that's the reason why I got on the snack pack? You goddamn right. I want to enhance my performance.
Hey, YSM, Mr. Greg is older than you, and he's on the snack.
Yeah, we getting on that snack. Me, man,
So,
up, Mr. Greg.
Hey, y'all, hey, and I got my own snack pack too, man. Come on.
Yeah, we out here, man. Let's go. It's for the old heads. We out here.
So, but what I'm saying is,
YSM, yes, from my own experience, the little experience that I have so far, the 2 products that I use, it has helped me very, very nicely. And I don't have to fight nobody. But nevertheless, everything is beautiful. So, yeah, the snack, what made me take the snack program was listening to Marty. Was seeing him.
What'd you say, Greg? Greg, hold on, y'all. He said something. Wait, hold on, Greg. Mr. Conti's in the chat. Can you say it loud for the people in the back, Mr. Greg?
Yeah, what was that?
I said the snack program works, and what made me start using the snack program because I saw Marty with the water or whatever it is, and I asked him, Marty, how does that work? And whatever he said, I got online, knew what I wanted to improve, and ordered the 2 products, and I've been great so far. So I have I don't have any problem with the snack program. And I asked, were the same products that we order online as a consumer the same products that the athletes have? And he did answer that as well, just like when I asked who called who, because I needed to know how this took place. And because he told me that Terrence actually called after some of his people inquired, I said, okay, Terrence recognized there's some things he needed to do. In the same way, me being a much older guy who's not an athlete anymore, still recognizes there's things that I needed to do for what the exercising that I do to improve and get better. So I don't know where anybody is wanting to still say the snack program don't work. The snack program doesn't affect how you perform. Yes, it does, because it got your body to do what you needed it to do at 100%. That's how I'm looking at it. Now, somebody can correct me, Mr. Aaron, or even Victor. Please say so.
Well, the thing is, it is what it is. I mean, we got to deal with the facts at hand. The facts is that when we look at all of the things that might make people suspicious, it's not far-fetched, so to speak. And
one day I'm gonna come on with just my T-shirt on so you can see.
Hey, it is what it's going to be. So
I got another question. For Aaron. So hard back to you picking Spence to win. So you knew Crawford was working with Victor Conti at the time.
No.
And you
so
knew
did you, NHJ?
Yes, I did. I picked Bud to win. I'm trying to figure out his trade. I knew. No, I'm trying to figure out why, how you still pick Spence.
I'm answering your question. I'm answering. I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that. You didn't know nothing. You just started following boxing the July 30th.
No, I don't get in their personal lives.
Yeah,
some
people just watch the fights. Some people
I watch their fights. I grew up boxing, brother.
Okay, so nobody knew.
I've been watching boxing since the Greg Hager, Pernell Whitaker days, man. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, I go back with this, man.
But
NHJ, ask him, did he know first?
But NHJ, in all fairness of you asking Aaron that about the SNAC, we can ask you the same question. Why didn't you include it in your keys to victory when I asked all you Crawford fans, how was he going to win? You didn't say, because he's on the SNAC program. You didn't say that.
I'll answer for you. I mean, I never questioned none of his. I never included SNAC in none of his victories before. I'm not gonna all of a sudden include it because you whooped on Spence.
Hold on. No, but did you read? Hold on. Did you read Victor's comment about what I said about the older athlete benefiting than the younger athlete? It's his comment. Read him.
Yeah, I saw it. Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? Right. Now he confirmed about his own product. That's spot on. The older athlete has a problem with recovery.
So you agree? Do you also agree with him that that Crawford is a clean fighter, or you just?
I have to say he's a clean fighter because I don't know.
All right.
As a fact, we're talking about factual. My opinion. Which one are you asking?
I mean, if your opinion is not based on facts, so it's really irrelevant.
No, everyone, because we all have an opinion, but we have to speak factually. Remember, I'm gonna say this as a student of science. I tell you what I know and then what I think.
Okay, scientifically speaking, why do you think he's cheating?
I don't know he's cheating scientifically.
Okay, then all right then. So we talk of science, or we talking just like non-factual?
Well, I asked you asked both questions. I asked both your questions.
He gave his opinion. He gave fact.
You said, do I know for a fact he's cheating? No. Do I think he's cheating? Yes. That's how you answer a question.
Okay.
Why do
if it was a research paper, that's how you put it out there. What I know and what I think.
So you base your opinion is based off what?
The association.
Okay. Not based on anything factual or scientific.
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed you, man. I missed the last part. Oh, okay.
I got you.
I had a question for the panel. It's very quick, and then we're going to get to Errol Spence and his eye surgery. Real quick. Band up. Where's Band up? Is he here?
He left.
He in the back. He said he's in the back.
He get ready for the game, man. They great. Come on, about an hour, man.
Oh, that's
yeah. The game about to come on like a half an hour.
I gotta leave for 30 minutes for the game too.
All right. So quick question. Well, YSM, I can ask you and Greg. I can ask both of you. Band up is not here. Did Victor Conti reach out? Because I know Gregory, I know you bought the product, and I think YSM, he said the product is going to be sent to him, the SNAC product, and Band Up did as well. Victor Conti said that the SNAC products that Greg, he said it in the chat, that you are taking is also given to the elite boxers. Let me put it up on the screen so people don't think I'm assuming that's what Victor said. And I'm only putting that's the only comment I'm putting up there. So I have a question on that real quick. Now, to you, Greg, since your name is in that comment and you purchased the product, and to you, Mill, YSM, because you're going to be sent the product.
Aaron, check the private chat. I got a question for you.
Was your personal information necessary for the SNAC products when you ordered them for you, Greg, and when they're going to be delivered to you? And let me be more specific when I say your personal information. I'm talking about your blood test results. Did you have to send that in when you purchased the stuff online?
No.
What about you, YS?
I read through each
one
of
them. Mr. Greg, finish.
I read through each one. I read through each one of the products what they are designed for, and I looked at what I was looking for, and the two that I chose were addressing what I thought were my needs. But no, there was no indication of leaving any blood or any questions about my blood. I just read what they do and correlated that with what I was trying to do.
All right. What about you, YSM? Since the products are going to be delivered to you, how about you?
All right. First and foremost, I want to say the only reason why I'm even taking the products, number one, is because you're such a good unofficial spokesperson. Like, you literally made me believe that I need SNAC in my life. I reached out to Rachel, and I'm talking about you.
Oh, well,
I'm being serious. I'm not even joking right now.
I deserve a check then.
I feel like you're as good as any sponsored boxer or athlete currently on the SNAC roster, or even better for promoting the product. But I reached out to Rachel and went through Rachel to get it. But no, I didn't have any blood panels done or anything like that. Salute to Victor, salute to you, salute to Rachel for making that happen. I appreciate y'all.
You got it. That's what I was just asking. I was just curious. All right. Now, everybody already knows that 2 people on the panel, 3 would be Band Up if he was here, that bought the product based off the promotion. So, hey, you got to do good business to send me a check. It's only good business. That's all it is. It's just good business now. I'm promoting more than the fighters. Huh?
I'm stepping away for a second. I'm coming back.
Did he give you the promo code?
Yeah, I don't know if it's really active or not. He did tell me it was activated. You know what I mean? Okay. But I didn't give. But see, we got to do good business. If you're going to give the promo code, then you got to go on and get some bank statements to go in and get that direct deposit based on the. Come on, Victor, Victor, a businessman. He know how it's supposed to go. So just send me the check and let's do good business. Now that's all the preacher talk about. You got to pay your tithes.
Okay.
We
Wait,
in boxing church.
Marty,
You got to
Marty.
pay your tithes when things go
Marty.
right. That's all I'm saying. Now,
Marty, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, Marty. Okay, so the Victor Conte, manager Marty's interview with Victor Conte has been probably the most talked about interview. I'm going to say the later part of 2023, right? I've seen numerous channels, numerous outlets cover that interview, whether it's websites or YouTube channels, right? And there's a bunch of regular guys like myself. I was a former athlete. I was a point guard. And it's numerous guys like me, like Mr. Greg, that, you know, we're not spring chickens anymore. So we want to get back to that lively stage of our lives. And SNAC could be an avenue to do that. And no other person besides manager Marty keeps SNAC name alive in the boxing world or in YouTube or whatever, however you want to say it. You are the guy that's making everybody want to try SNAC.
may you do me a favor, YSL.
Yeah.
Translate that to the guy in the comment section. Mr. Victor,
Hey Vic, hey yo, this is directed as hey Victor. Let's be honest, man. Proof's in the pudding, bro. I seen about 10 YouTube channels that covered this interview. And not even one video. These are multiple videos, 3, 4 per interview that these guys are doing. And the only word on their lips is SNAC, stack, stack. That's good bread.
What?
I said that's good branding.
No, not you. Victor has said something in the chat. I told you I wasn't going to put no more up there. I'll read it. YSM was sent a fighter training stack at no charge. The Marty check is 100% of a zero cost to YSM. I don't know how to interpret that.
Yeah.
Okay, I know how to interpret it. So can I get a refund and get mine on the Marty deal as well?
Yeah, man. Give me, yeah. Hey, Vic. I'm saying I'll be a paying customer, all because of Marty.
So I figured that's what that meant, but I was trying to be of good faith. You know the preacher had faith band up. You can't be no preacher and don't have no faith.
But
now.
I definitely appreciate you sending that out. But I'm giving my reasons of why I was interested in the first place. Manager Marty's a hell of a salesman. I'm just saying.
You know the preacher always got to have a cloth with him, Aaron.
Yeah, I see. I'm over there reading the comments.
All of a sudden now, I can't get paid. You see, nobody wants to give me credit, YS. Content creators used it, didn't shout me out. Victor don't want to give me a check. I don't know what's going on. They don't want to give me credit. But you know what?
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Good.
He right here.
Now, what I would say though,
Victor, if you're listening to us, the way you can pay Marty.
Oh, you listening?
You can correct me if I'm wrong. Do 10 to 15-second commercials to place exclusively on Marty's channel. And I think the way you pay for that is directly through Cash App. I think is that correct? As opposed to going through so if you do that, I'm using your product because I asked Marty about it. You got 2 more people. You keep on doing that, you might have 10 or 15 of us on here using your product and talking about it.
All right, wait.
But take care of man.
What he said is valid. All right, Vic, we're going to prove to you how powerful Manager Marty and Manager Marty's platform. All right, did you see what he said in the comments? He said nobody has used the Marty, the Marty 25 discount code. Everybody in the chat.
Okay.
We're gonna show it. We're gonna show it.
So there is a discount code then. So that means that if
No, it ain't. Where did this discount code at?
I thought that's what YMC
The preacher got mad.
Where did this code at?
No, I thought that's what YSM just said. This is a discount code.
If there was a discount code, there would be some kind of connection with my bank account when you go on and get the discount. Now, I didn't get my banking information.
Hey, wait.
People.
Hey, Victor.
Woo!
Victor, wait. King Swisher said he received his today, Victor. That's an extra customer, courtesy of Manager Marty.
Hey, here's the deal. Hey, YSM, let me be clear here. Victor Conti knows the voice I have. He knows that it don't matter how many subscribers of the Roller Take Film Crew members I have or don't have, that this channel is bigger than some of the other channels, or he wouldn't have came up here twice. All I'm saying, Greg, is cut the black man a check and do me right. That's all the preacher's asking for you to do.
I'm
do
asking
good
for him
business and cut me
I'm
the
asking
check.
for him to spend with you.
That's all I'm asking for.
Spread the wealth. I'm asking him to spend with you.
I got a super chat. At least somebody want to pay me something. Thank you. Who does that gave the preacher some money? Thank you, Gene. Gene said, double salute to Gene. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel, because Victor wouldn't give me nothing. Thank you, Gene. Gene says, per Spence, all that said, you can kill the retire SHIT though. Yeah, I got my ASSB. SHIT was past due. I didn't live exactly like a boxer for the most part, LOL. I think these are the words that basically Errol Spence should say after the fight. One of the words he did say, and I'm talking about the real Errol Spence, is that something was overdue. He was talking about the surgery on his cataract. Let's talk about that while we have everybody here. Let's start with you, Mr. Greg, and then let's go around in the panel. People are saying that this is just another excuse that Errol Spence is making because he's having surgery on his right eye. I mean, is this an excuse that he don't want to fight Terrence Crawford in a rematch? I mean, what's your take on it? Is it jeopardizing the rematch? Where we stand at right now with Errol Spence's condition, in your opinion?
I don't see anything that's wrong with Earl as an excuse, because I think that's just part of Earl's character, that he doesn't, the way he does things. The cataract surgery, which he said himself was long overdue, the question you would have to ask, why aren't you taking care of your health issues immediately? Why? Why were you letting something as important as your ability to see just linger around and you finally get around to it? So I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's part of his character. He just, in my opinion, and I think it's happens with a lot of boxers. When you got some money, when you got a lot of money, you tend to get lax on certain kinds of things. Surgery is not something everybody happy to have. I mean, it's not a day at the park, but it's important that something as serious as that get addressed immediately. Right after he lost the fight, it made sense to me. If he had that kind of character, you rest up, you look at what happened when you lost. But if you know you already needed this surgery, you get that out the way too. That's the first step in starting to repair yourself, I think, and looking at what you gotta see. Because he said he was getting hit because he couldn't see. But you came into the ring with that because that's part of your character. You just let things happen because you think you can still get by. But I don't think it's an excuse. It's just part of who he is. But that he realized that he can't come back like that because he saw what the results was. So he probably is going to change all of those things. And I hope that he does. I think it jeopardizes the fight in terms of when it will happen now. Because you got to recover. As my man, Mr. Brooks said, it takes a little while for you to recover. It takes a while for you to recover from a surgery. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than you even thought it was going to take. And if it takes, let's say it takes him 2 months, he ain't going to be in the gym. He's not going to be, doing anything to get his body together, I don't think. So then he'll have to come. He'll probably be overweight again, maybe 100, maybe 90, 200, and so forth. So now you got to have a fat camp. Now you got to get acclimated again. Now you got to make sure you can see just in training well enough, or 100%, I hope, where you can see what you're doing. So, overall, I think it does affect the fight. I don't know what those contracts really are, whether Spence will be able to, Bud will be able to take a fight while he's waiting for this next thing to happen. But if it does, it's just going to push the fight further and further away, and people are going to start losing some degree of interest, because now there's one more thing that's delaying the fight. Except this time you can't blame it on Bud. So how that's going to play out for all of us right now, we're still talking about a fight that already happened. So we'll talk about, the new things that we're coming up with. It's great to see a guy like Mr. Brooks to share some information, but we should have been listening to the 2 cent a little bit more as well. So I got to put that in there. But overall, I don't think it's a duck. I don't think it's a excuse. I just think that's who he is. The problem with Errol Spence is Errol Spence. Now, one more thing I'll say to finish up, and I think Mr. Aaron Mohammed mentioned this as well. Who's advising you to do the things that you do, or telling you not to do these things? Who should have been in the ring, or should have been in this corner saying, well, we know you got this eye issue. Let's go ahead and take care of that now. Were they doing that, and were they saying, no, let's time this because we think you still need to heal up a little more from that whooping? We don't know what happened, but there has to be somebody in there around him, I hope, who is advising him, whether it's to get this done right away or to delay it. Because why are you just delaying it when you're getting close to where you should be now training, or you're supposed to have been training, and now in the middle of that, you're going to do a surgery? So we don't know what the games are, just like we see the games that's happening with Ryan and Mayweather and Oscar. It could be some gamesmanship going on here a lot more seriously while they get that new deal with PBC in place and prepared, get the fights lined up, et cetera, et cetera. It could be a lot of those things. We can speculate, which is what I'm doing as well. But I don't think it's a duck of the fight, but I do think it delays the fight. I don't think it's an excuse. I just think it's it's Spence's character and his character flaw, if you will, that's allowed him to drag his feet on taking care of his health, particularly his eyesight, this late in the game.
You got it. YSM Sports Media does this delay the fight. What's happening? What's your take on everything with the eye surgery of Errol Spence?
Of course, it's going to delay the fight. I mean, there's no way that it's not. It's going to take, from what I'm hearing, between like 6 to 8 weeks to heal, and then he'll need about 2 months to get back in shape in order to even have a camp. So I feel like we're staring at Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence rematch in fall. Late summer, earliest fall. Mm-hmm. But I do have a welterweight that's available.
What's his name?
His name is Jerron Ennis. Since the issue that the fight wasn't happening according to the Crawford fans is he got the rematch with Spence lined up. Well, Boots can keep him warm for Spence, man.
Same way David Evanesian did the first time, right?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, since Crawford's, the boogeyman, and he destroying everybody, and he wouldn't have an issue with destroying Boots.
Oh, that's a good point.
Might be what's going to happen.
NHA, you're a Crawford fan. You've been very vocal. Is this an excuse from Errol Spence to get out of the fight with Terrence in the rematch, or is this something that he needed to do before the actual rematch so he won't have any more distractions in the rematch? I mean, what's your take on it?
I think it could be either an excuse or him trying to sell the fight to a certain extent, because the fact that he brought up this is why why you think I was getting hit with all those jabs and hooks? That's basically messages, his rabid fan base who want to attach, anything to that loss. So basically saying, okay, this is the reason why I really lost. So y'all should definitely buy this next fight, because the next fight I'm gonna be 100%. And at the same time too, it could be an excuse in trying to get out the fight because, truth be told, this rematch is supposed to take place in December. I mean, we already in January. Now you're talking about a surgery, and there's been rumors and rumblings that he don't really want the fight. PBC don't, the networks don't really want to sell this fight because, and the general public, I don't even think is really clamoring for a rematch like it was before. And I think they know when they do fight, they ain't gonna do nowhere near the same numbers as the same first fight. Because a lot of people are looking at this fight as it's a foregone conclusion. Budget's gonna wash them again. So why pay $80-something, $90 or whatnot when you can just stream it? So I don't want to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just had a question for you, real quick. Who said the fight? Who said the rematch was supposed to happen in December? I never heard that one.
But wasn't that the original timeline?
I don't know. I never heard that. That's why I'm asking you.
Maybe somebody else on the panel can corroborate this. I mean, those are the reports.
You said it. I'm just saying you said it, so that's why I'm asking.
I can't pinpoint the exact report. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that too.
EJ said, hopefully we get the fight in December.
Yeah, I heard he said, hopefully we get in December.
Who said this?
EJ.
I heard Errol said, hey, hopefully we can get the fight in December at 54.
Okay. I just didn't hear it, so that's why I was
asking. I never heard it be exclusively, but I heard him say, hopefully we can get it at 54 in December.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he made a point. He made it a point that he wants it, immediate rematch. Like, you know what I'm saying? He activated that rematch, you know what I'm saying, right away. Like, but then, we're hearing, okay, you just recently started training, like what, a month or so ago. It's like a lot of things are not adding up. So gave me the vibes like he might not want this fight as bad as his fan base wanted. And I ain't even mad at that because I like Spence. If he feels like it's his time, he don't put his work in. He wants to retire, go relax with his family, enjoy the fruits of his labor, vacation. Who doesn't want that? I won't be mad at that, but we'll see.
All right, you got it. Carl Brown, I mean, you hear everything that's been said so far. I mean, NHA said he thinks it's an excuse. We still don't know because there's so many different variations of what's going on. But what we do know is Errol Spence had surgery on his cataract. What you got on this, Carl?
Well, first I want to say, I was trying to say, I meant to say this all day. I think Earl gonna shock the world. And man, Jamali, I've been saying this, even though my man lost the first one, but before the fight even started, I mean, I could name numerous of people that I was going back and forth and they was looking at the fight and they even said something, Earl don't look right. You know what I mean? I seen people question it before they even came out and fight. But anyway, I think Earl gonna shock the world, first of all. You know what I mean? My boy Earl, I think when he put that out there, and first of all, I want to say I don't think Earl was down as much as people think he was down. Like a lot of YouTube channels made his story sound real sad. I don't think Earl was as down as, because remember, man, Jamari, I've been saying this ever since I seen the fight. I've been telling you. I said, I mean, I got an eye for these things, and I seen a lot of those shots that Terrence Crawford was landing. It was never landing flush until I want to say the one in the second round that dropped him. The one that dropped him, yeah. But during the fight, remember I kept on saying a lot of shots wasn't landing flush. Earl was rolling with a lot of the shots, but it still led up to Terrence Crawford getting looked up. But anyway, it's definitely not an excuse. And I think Errol Spence, when he said the part when he said just recently, I mean when he said with that, when he said hey, what did he say? He said, dang, I'm bugging. Bugger, my bad. But look, what he said with the tweet. I mean, what he said when he had put out. He said that's why he couldn't see. All right. Okay, look. I think he just letting everybody. He's cool with talk. He's cool with talking about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's a bad thing. It ain't even nothing to that. I just think he's cool with talking about it, and that's why he mentioned that. That's why I couldn't see with the Jazz and the West Coast. Like I said, I don't think the dude was down as much. I don't think the dude was down as much as people think he was, and it's definitely not an excuse. And I got Errol Spence really shocking the world in his own rematch.
Hey, can I say something?
Who that? Lucky?
Yeah, it's Lucky.
Go ahead, speak on it, Luck.
All right, so I'm gonna say something. Look, I got shot in the head about 5 years ago. And after getting shot in the head, I had to get cataract surgery. I didn't want to get it, so I prolonged it for months. And my eyesight got worse and worse. So the main thing that they first tell you, they say your eyesight will get worse. If you don't get the surgery right away, it will get worse. And that's what happened to me. As soon as I got the surgery, my eyesight was clear again. So you have to get the surgery. If they're telling you to get it, you got to get it. It's only going to get worse.
So do you think that, and man, God is good, man, for you to still be here to talk to us and still live your life after being shot in the head. And I appreciate you opening up and sharing your personal experience with us, brother. Really, because I would have never known that. So in your case, are you saying that because Spence may have heard this information probably before and he was prolonging it because he, just like you, he just didn't want to get it, and now it's at a point where he really, really needs it? Is that what you're trying to say about Spence?
Yeah, I do want to say that because, like, man, I got so much faith in God, right?
Yes.
So it's to the point where I was like, no, I don't need surgery. I can just pray on it, and God got me. But it still got worse. So it's like you got to get it. You have to get it. Like, you have to get it. And salute to the the doctors that worked on me, because I can tell you right now, before the surgery, everybody was pretty much a blur to me. The whole room was pretty much dark. And that one eye. When they got done, that's when I was finally able to realize that my doctors was white. I wasn't able to know that before the surgery.
Wow.
So it's really serious like that. You got to get it done.
And Manager Marty, my bad for stumbling the ball. I seen you over there cracking up too, man.
No, I was laughing at 2 cents. She was in the chat making me laugh. 2 cents.
Oh, all right.
No, that's 2 cents always. Yeah, but speaking of 2 cents, we just had a brief little pause just now, Lucky. You gave us a brief little. Sometimes when you hear people's testimony, you know what I mean, like it makes us reflect on our life a little bit, just for a few seconds. God is good. I know I'm playing with the whole preacher thing, but everybody knows my faith in the Lord. You know what I mean? But on some real stuff, just to hear that testimony, you know what I mean? We had to get I see that we always pause for a little bit.
I want to show my faith. I want to show my faith right now, just so y'all can see. God is good. You can't see a mark on my face. God is good.
Yes, He is.
And Marty and y'all, and not to piggyback on that, and not like that. Really, for real. That's why I was really tuned in when he was talking, because as of right now, I'm walking around with a bullet in the back of my heart enlarged in my spine. So when he was talking, I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? I know where he's going when he's going with that story. Sometimes you don't even like telling it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But one of the things, and I know I do it, Aaron, I know this is your first time here. I do a lot of entertainment, because in the business, when I do express the education part, most people don't want to sit for an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours hearing somebody just lecture about business of boxing or any other business. So I include entertainment value with it. And so, and I do have education, and we do talk serious.
I've been listening to you for a while, though. I've been listening for a while.
Oh, okay. I thought this was your first time up here.
No. I just jumped over, but I've been listening to you for a while.
Yeah,
about a year.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Ben. We all about to go in a minute, but go ahead, Ben. What you got for us?
Yeah, my thing is he could have did this way before now, especially since him himself say he wanted this fight in December. Errol is prolonging the fight. He is putting my boy on standby. I don't know why you trying to stall him out, Debo. You could have been had
Mute
this
him,
done.
Marty.
Now you
Mute
want to
him,
wait till
Marty.
now to stall him out. That's my thing.
Man, I got to root for Michigan tonight now.
Mute him, Marty. Get him off of here. Get Band-Aid off of here.
I got to root for Michigan now, man.
Come on now, Nickel Slick. You know I'm talking. You know how it is.
Hey,
he could have been did
Band-Aid.
this. You want to wait till January 2024 to do this?
That Nickel Slick is hilarious. Hey, but listen, Band-Aid, for once you and I agree, I hope that is an old video that he's just now posting maybe, because from my understanding, you're going to have to be out for a month or two, and there's no way we're going to have a rematch in April if you just got eye surgery. And I've also heard that it takes a long time to get stuff like that scheduled and this and that, but I'm sure there's ways around that. But I don't understand, like, if you've been needing an eye surgery and that was part of the issue in the fight, wouldn't that be one of the first things you did after the fight was over?
Exactly.
And listen, I'm one of Spence's biggest fans, but this unreasonable arrogance that he has is getting old at this point. And at some point he has to outgrow this, especially if retirement is not an option. Like, you can't keep going on like this. You're getting older, and just like y'all mentioned, as you get older, it gets harder for your body to recover. And if you're doing stuff like drinking or was drinking and you haven't took the step to replenish the vitamins and minerals and everything you need so that you can perform at your top level, he's going to continue to struggle, if we're being honest. So I don't know, maybe he might need to call somebody to get something together, but I really just hope that he takes care of everything that he needs to take care of. I hope he doesn't have another long layoff and try to have a rematch in December. He's going to have to fight somebody before then. He's going to have to. Otherwise, you're repeating the same mistake that you made before, and that just doesn't make any sense. So hopefully Errol has wisened up, and he's going to do all the things that he needs to do in order to be competitive for the rematch. I was under the impression that he was doing that for the first fight, but obviously he didn't, because in his mind, he probably felt like he could overcome everything and pull through and pull it out. And it gets to a point where that's going to catch up to you, and it's just not going to work no more. It's just not going to work. And this might have been that moment. And so, hopefully he get it together and we pull it out in the rematch. Hopefully the rematch is sooner than later, because I promise y'all, I don't want to keep arguing with y'all all the way to December.
Good point.
Well, it already caught up to him since.
Well, Aaron, I mean, you heard everything just so far. What's your take on this whole ordeal with the eye surgery, the timing of it? What's your point? What's your perspective of it, man?
Well, if it's true that he did have an eye surgery, if you actually had a real surgery, you're not ducking nobody. But it's indicative that, how do I put it? And I'm gonna say this. I'm a biased Errol fan, okay? But it's pretty indicative that you just haven't. Well, Mr. Gregory was saying, you have not been taking care of yourself. It's not like you couldn't afford this surgery. It's not like you couldn't have good medical help for this. It's indicative of you just not taking care of yourself. The day they told him he had this, he could have had that surgery booked that evening. He got that type of money. You could have took care of this and you didn't. And even if he comes out of this, right, I'm going to root for him because I like him, but it's hard to believe he's going to win a big fight after this because he has clearly abused his body. Let's say before the car wreck, you still were abusing your body for a long time. And then you have the car accident. Then you have the second car accident. And then you have your second eye surgery. If this story is true, that he's having another eye surgery. It's not that I think that he's ducking. It's just maybe the end of the road. And so that's why I think he took the first fight. Let's say if what I'm saying is true, he may knew it was the end of the road, but getting 25, 30 million cash, get this fight. See if you can pull something off. It sounds like it might be the end of the road for the man, or he could do the Durant, like Durant came back a couple times, but I don't think Durant had these intensive injuries. So that's what I would say. I mean, you can't count a man out, but it's hard to see that the road is not ending for a guy who's mistreated himself and then had so many. If he had the second eye surgery, his first traumatic incident would be the car accident, the first eye surgery, and then the second eye surgery. And the body never forgets trauma. It's just stored. So it's just hard to see that. I don't think he's ducking, but it's hard to see the fight's going to happen ever if this eye surgery is really true.
Throw that second car accident in there too.
Hey, look.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I forgot about that.
Actually, he had two more car accidents. He had two more.
Yeah, because a young kid hit him, right?
And he had one before that where somebody ran in the back of him.
Okay, yeah. So for 3 car accidents, yeah.
Hey, I want to say what Aaron was saying. It might be the end of the road for Errol Spence, because after my surgery, I remember they barely want you to rub your eye. So I'm pretty sure they don't want you to be in a fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You remember
and to jump in, hey, for y'all who remember this, how long did Ray Leonard have to take off when he had his?
I just about to say that. I think it was almost 2 years.
Okay.
I think time in medicine is a little different now, though. The medicine and the technology, I think it's a little different now.
But the point you just made, Ray didn't have 3 car accidents either.
Right.
Hey, remember, Ray surgery was different.
And Ray took care of his body without 3 car accidents. Right. So if this is second eye surgery with 3 car accidents in a reckless life, it is just hard to see. I hope I do see it because I'm a fan of him, but it's hard to see you overcome those odds against a Terrence Crawford, because that boy can fight.
Put in the last 2 fights. I mean, the destruction that Terrence Crawford did to him, but then he had a hard fight before with Ugas. So he didn't lose it, but nevertheless, all of that adds up. And like I said, the problem with Errol Spence is Errol Spence. That's who he is. He's just been able to win until that last fight.
I would agree.
Let me get these 2 super chats before we bounce. Double salute to my guy, Supreme L. Always a pleasure. Supreme says, greetings, Professor. Wait, didn't Bud stall EJ not once, but 2 times? You don't see what's going on? He did this before the Ugas fight and won. I'm just saying. That was from Supreme L. Thank you for your support again and contribution, Supreme. My day one supporter, my guy, Aaron Muhammad. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Manager Marty, if Errol was able to wait on Bud while he stalled the first fight, then Bud can sit down and wait a few months for Errol. That was the words of my guy, Aaron Muhammad. Then we have Gene again. Double salute to you, Gene. Thank you for your contribution and your support. One more again. Gene says, people who are fans of Spence want his Cinderella story to end with a victory against Crawford. However, it is different, and it won't be against Crawford, but overall in life. That was from Gene, and I appreciate everyone who came through the support through the super chats and everybody that came through in the chat period. Also, everybody that came on the panel. This was a hot panel. This was a really, really good show, as always, and I appreciate everybody investing their time. The great thing about all of this is that even though we have different perspectives and opinion, we can all walk away sharing the one thing in common, and that is our love for the sport of boxing. What I typically do is give everybody 30 seconds to bounce off, but I want to do something different today. I'm going to do something completely different. I want everybody to think about the things that we heard. This is to the audience too. This is everybody that's watching. Think of the things that Lucky said about his experience of getting shot in the head. Think about what Carl Brown said, who still have a bullet as he testified in his body, close to his spine. Let's take a moment, not now, I'm talking about when we back off of this show and really think about, it's not about religion, right? It's all about counting our many blessings and thinking about and reflecting on, some of the things that we're enduring in our lives. And these 2 men came up here today. They opened up their heart and they shared those personal experiences so that we can take them back and reflect on our own lives when we evaluate. The grace that we are bestowed by God, whether you believe or not, isn't the point. The point of the matter is that we all can take something away from what we heard these two gentlemen say, because they've experienced trauma. And I'm not saying we haven't, because some of us may have and didn't express it. But the point I'm making is that if we can just reflect on where we are in our lives, and we might be going through something. This is for anybody watching the replay of this live, anybody watching live, and even in the chat. We all are going through something. Let me say this principle, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna just put my intro on, and all of us is going to back out, right, and go. In life, it's all about making adjustments. And I always tell my children this, I tell my friends, other Cash App by 2 Cents Boxing, and I guess I can leave on this note. Thank you, 2 Cents, for your contribution and your support to the channel. 2 Cents Boxing says, pass the collection plate around. And every time the preacher is here, I'm always going to give a spiritual life principle, irregardless of where you are in your life. I love each and every last one of you all. Thank you all for supporting the channel. And the same way I came in with the intro, well, that's the same way I got to back out. I'm Manager Marty, and y'all already know what I'm going to say. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you.